Welcome all to NFL Pub Hub, our most fun show on Pub Sports Radio. 8 top cappers giving out their best sides, totals, and player props. And we have the entire top 5 of our show is going to be on today. The entire top 5. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Flea Mathis in the house, Jedi for life. Justin McElvey, Stacks play of the day is in. It's Goff over 274.5 passing yards at plus 123. Going to copy and paste that immediately. Huge Sunday of action awaits. I'm very, very excited. Jared TG in the house. Is razor sharp picks, coin, primetime 99. Love seeing that. He's got Michigan Big Ten champs future and still has Michigan 7-1 to win it all. Nate Dogg 420 in the house. We got Terry Walker, Mally Mal, the Nuke Worker, Kingu, Chase White, Eric Jones, Teflon, Don. Great to see all of you guys here. Very excited about today's show. Our top 5 right now in NFL Pub Hub. Number 1, the Big Ragu, 31-22 plus 8.6 units, our season 1 champion. In second is Spenny Penny Bombs, 38-35 plus 7 units. What Spenny has done is spectacular. He had a horrible opening show. Horrible opening week. Week 1, he went 3-9 down 6.05 units. Since then, in 4 shows, he's 35-26 plus 13.05 units. Unbelievable work by Spenny, who came second last year in his first season with us. Sean Higgs is third. Mr. Sean Higgs, 13-6 plus 6.17 units. Marley Bets, 10-5, part of the Brothers and Bets channel. He's 10-5 plus 4.9 units in a 4th place. What a group we have. And in 5th, we have Flash in 5th spot. Flash, he will be joining us as well, coming to us from Costa Rica, 12-8 plus 3.37 units. And just outside the top 5 looking in, Ramon Scott, 5-3 plus 1.92 units. Great to see all of you guys here rolling with us. Love it. I love it. Today's show, we start with Pimp Slap Play of the Day, Mikey M, then Big Ragu, then Sean Higgs, then Marley, Flash, Spenny, and then Tim Earl of the Earl Sports Brothers will be back in action with us. This will be his second appearance on NFL Pop-Up, and then Dutch Boy Fresh, who's currently, I believe, 9th right now overall in the standings. Sorry, 10th, just behind Brizzy. Brizzy is in 9th place right now. That is the situation. It is great to see, and Saturday says, what place is Razor Sharp Picks? And he's right there, too. He's in 8th place. Razor Sharp Picks, 5-4 plus 0.8 units. 5-4. He's only made 2 appearances here, and he will be on our show next week. That's our situation. I'm very excited about today. I have 6 bets left. I cashed the overs very easily first half and full game on Thursday night. I only have 6 bets left. Packers plus 6.5. Chargers, New England under 40.5. The double up that I'm very nervous about in the Lions game. Titans money line and the under 43 in Colts Titans. And I'm pretty comfortable with that. There's a lot on the line here with our survivor pools and other things. So, and the leans that I had, I've kind of gotten off. I guess I still expect to move on the under in the Packers Chiefs game, but I've been watching that and I've been wondering if that's going to be 43. Bovada's had that at 43 for a while. So I'll be kind of just sitting back and waiting. In the NFL Pub Hub Circa Millions, we need a big week. We have an interesting card with Chargers -5, Cardinals plus 5.5, Jets plus 2, Lions -4.5, and Chiefs -5.5. Those are our 5 spots for the Pub Hub Circa Millions, NFL Pub Sports Radio Circa Millions. For biggest news right now in football with player personnel, injury stuff, Cleveland quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is out. Joe Flacco starts for the Browns. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor will be out multiple weeks due to thumb surgery. Dolphins running back Devon Achane is back, and he's good to go for the Fish. Saints wide receiver Chris Olave is expected to be out of concussion protocol and will play. Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen with the quad injury is expected to play. Cards wide receivers Hollywood Brown and tight end Trey McBride, heel and groin respectively, are expected to play. So is Tank Dell with the calf injury, expected to play. Minkah Fitzpatrick back, good to go. The Bucs are going to be without 3 key pieces, and there's been a big line move towards the Panthers. So the Bucs will be without outside linebacker Levante David, defensive back Jamal Dean, and linebacker Devin White. The Panthers will get C.J. Henderson back, their cornerback concussion protocol, but it looks like they'll be down both of their tight ends. Hurst is out, and Tremble is doubtful. 49ers defensive tackle Tariq Armstead will play, and Packers running back Aaron Jones is out. Let's get to work. There's smoke and mirrors in the house. Great to see all you guys. Primetime 99, Coin, Gerald Jones, Joe, Ecom, Bo, Nutflush, Allen, Justin McElvey, Straight 420, Joe, the Nuke Worker, Paul Clock, Rodney Barton, Brian Pacone, Matty Ice. Thank you guys. Philly Eagle Flyer. Thank you guys for rolling with us. Let's get to work. Let's bring on your first guest of today's show. He is the star of our big Monday through Friday last call show at 6 p.m. Eastern. Also the star of our Thursday night live streams. Please welcome from the dirtiest of Chesters, Rochester, New York City, Mr. Mikey M to the show. Mikey, what's good, my man? How are you?
Jimmy the Bag, what up, my guy? Happy Sunday. It always puts a smile on my face when you talk about how dirty my hometown is, baby. Let's go. It's going to be a big Sunday here. Let's do it.
Let's get to work. Let's get to work. You start at 1 p.m. Eastern with Arizona Cardinals at Pittsburgh Steelers, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It looks like I've made a huge error being on the Buccaneers for the Survivor. But if the Steelers lose, then I will win 3 Survivor pools if the Buccaneers win. But that'll be fine. I can put $1,000 on the money line for the Panthers and guarantee myself cash regardless, because it'll be about $8K the other way if the Buccaneers win. Now, the Cardinals have to step up here. 57 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 9 miles per hour. We thought there was going to be rain in this game. There could be rain late now in this game. Let's get over it and talk about the line history here for this one. We will start with the side. Get this up here. From a side scenario here on the spread for the Cardinals Steelers game. We are sitting at a 6.5. Now, this 6.5 looks like it's moved to 6 at my bookie and looks like it's on its way to 6. It's at the Cardinal side of things is minus 114, juiced to minus 114. We've had a big move to the Cardinals in the last hour or so, about a 10-cent move towards them. From a total scenario, this is a 41. It's a juice to the over. This opened at 39.5, got up to 41.5, and has dropped to 40.5, and then back to 41. I almost moved on the over. I was talked off of it when we were here on Bankroll Blitz. 71% of the tickets and 84% of the cash is on the Cardinals. They are a public road dog, and we know what generally happens to them. They lose and don't cover. 62% of the tickets and 63% of cash on the over. Take it away. Oh, and injury-wise, for the Cardinals, we talked about Hollywood Brown and Trey McBride. They're expected to be in. So is Jalen Thompson, their safety. Cornerback Antonio Hamilton. They're another cornerback in Starling Thomas, outside offensive lineman, Elijah Wilkinson, and wide receiver Michael Wilson are all out. Take it away, and the Steelers are a healthy squad. Take it away, Mikey M, our first spot on the board, Cardinals Steelers.
Big card, got to move quick, keep a brisk pace here. But when I first approached this card, I thought, man, can you imagine not thinking there's value across the board today, especially after last week? What did we see? Favorites beating up them books. And that's where I like to be here, because I think it's that opportunity now for the books to clean up, the public thinking how easy it's going to be, and they're going to take it right in the face. So we got a big card to line it up with tonight, and it starts with this game for me here. And so first and foremost, I think you should feel comfortable with your spot here with this Steelers potential loss here. Tomlin does not do historically well in this position himself as a coach leading the squad out there. But I do think the play for me is really around this under. We saw this action, right? We kind of saw the ping pong ball that's taken place. A ton of cash and tickets moving in on this over was kind of where I positioned this thing and started it off here. First and foremost, Pittsburgh, when they're coming off a spot where they had less than 7 days rest, they are 0-7 to the under. It goes back to that kind of mantra I have where it's like, hey, if we're in a unique position, we have to kind of scramble and come up with something on the fly. Let's just go defense first. Let's stick to what we know. We obviously know last week that offensive coordinator change took place, and Pittsburgh had an explosion of offense out there. They had over 400 yards, I want to say was the number, but they still didn't score any points. And I think at the end of the day, a bad offense is a bad offense, so they don't find the end zone. Now, I think the flip side of this thing with Kyler Murray here, little Kylie, getting out there running around at his 5'4" frame. The challenge he's going to have out there is TJ Watt. TJ Watt's going to blitz this guy. He's going to put him on his heels. I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers can dictate pace with the running game. Arizona's gotten crushed by Kyren Williams, Devin Singletary, Bijan Robinson. They all profile very similar to the running type of game that, we see that the Pittsburgh Steelers like to run. And the big factor for me is what have teams done historically going all the way back to 2021? So we have a good 2.5 years of data behind this thing. When teams are heading into the bye week, what happens? Historically, they go under 20 overs, 45 unders, and they're going under by over 5 points a game. So great spot, I think, here for this number. That's ping pong back up to 41 for me. That's the opening number that I saw at this week anyhow. And I'm going to jump in. I'm going to take advantage of this thing here. I just don't think we see the end zone. I think it's a running game between the 40s. And you'll see this is kind of a theme I have with a couple of games this week.
Under 41, available minus 107 right now at Pinnacle for Mikey M. We move on to the next spot for Mikey. He's got side and player prop. Miami Dolphins at Washington Commanders, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The Commanders just 1-4 at home this year, but Dolphins just 500 on the road, 56 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 3 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We will start with the total. It's sitting at 49.5 right now, juiced to that under. It has not gotten off that number of 49.5 the whole time at Pinnacle. From a side perspective, we are sitting here and we see a move to the Commanders. They are now at 8.5. They opened up at 9. They were at 10 for a while. They are now at 8.5. That was a big move to 8.5. That happened yesterday morning at Pinnacle. They're the only book that hanging of the offshores hanging in 8.5. Tron Armstead, Chris Brooks, Lester Cotton, Javon Holland, Robert Jones, Kendall Lamb, all questionable, but no one announced as out at this point. For the Commanders, cornerback Emmanuel Forbes is out with an elbow injury, might be out for some time, and so is their defensive end, James Smith-Williams. They're very light in depth on the defensive end front. Take a quick look at the cash flow here for this next spot on the board for Mikey. We have on the total, 64% of the tickets, which is 50% of the cash on the over, and on the spread, 43% of the tickets and 73% of cash on the Commanders. Take it away, Mikey M. Dolphins, Commanders.
Yeah, right where I want to be in this spot here. What we've seen with the AFC East as a whole collective body has taken a step back in the last 2 weeks, and Miami Dolphins leading the charge of what seems to really be a mediocre division this year. And I think we see a lot of suit here. You know, with Miami, we know that they haven't beaten good teams, and they've kind of punished around the bad teams out there. But a big spot to notice here, it's a bounce back opportunity for a team in the Commanders. They got throttled last week on Thanksgiving by the Dallas Cowboys. And when teams that are laying down 8 points or more, receiving 8 or more points, have taken a beating by over 30 points in the season on that particular game, they bounce back at a 67% trend going back, I want to say 5 years in data in that trend. So terrific bounce back spot with those points that are being laid out there. Now, of course, we look at it, Miami just came off a divisional game, so I always think that when those divisional games come out there, granted it was the Jets, I don't know how much energy they had to expend. They comfortably beat them, but there is a little bit of mental tax that goes into it there. They kind of look at the standings all week and try to figure out, once we throttle this team, what happens to our position overall. What we know about Washington is Sam Howell tosses the ball a ton. I expect it to continue to go up. I think the only real matchup in this game is going to be the Ramsey versus Scary Terry McLaurin matchup there. Once they move outside of that, though, there are enough weapons and depth in that offense and tight end and running backs to move these chains and keep the ball moving for Washington. The best recipe to keep, Miami at bay is keep them off the offensive field. Now we have a chain coming back, right? I think that's a little factor for him here, where you look at Mostert, there's a lot of uncertainty now. That creates some tension and some angst in the locker room. This year, road favorites that are laying down 7 points or more have gone 4 wins, 8 losses, barely covering the spreads. They're only 8-5 straight up. I say only 8-5 because when you're laying more than a touchdown on the road, you should figure you're out there beating teams down. And to be at 8-5 spot out there says, I don't think Washington's a live dog in this game, but the 9.5, again, this is another spot where we have a team heading into a bye week factor. When teams are heading into the bye week, they're 44-24 against the spread. Huge opportunity. So we're using this trend in 2 different angles. One, we used it for the under and that Arizona game. The second side of this thing shows the clear advantage. These teams are ready to rock and roll. When you're playing an opponent and they have a better than 50% win margin, you're at home, off a loss, you're a dog. The opponent just won, you're 39-13 as well. So just a little motivation spot here, I think. And again, Sam Howell wouldn't be mad at anybody that wants to look at his passing attempts. I don't know about his completions, but I do think that from an opportunity in the second half, they should be down. They should be down going into the second half, and Howell should be airing the ball out across the field. But a lot of strength and opportunity, in my opinion, between the bounce back, the bye factor, and how they rally back against a team that has a winning record. Give me these Washington Commanders at plus 9.5. And then the prop that I'm going with here, we're going to kind of beat this. We're going to be the ROI busters this week. We got a couple spots with some plus money to try to capitalize here. And the spot that I'm looking at is Curtis Samuel. Give me Curtis Samuel. The Jalen Phillips defensive, subtraction, if you will, with Miami Dolphins is enough to take a team that's 30th in DVOA to the short pass And that's the spot where Curtis Samuel excels. He was only on the field for 55% of the snaps last week against Dallas. He got 9 passes and 100 yards in that 55% of the snaps. So what it showed me is when they were trying to dink and dunk, when they were trying to move the ball down the field, the guy that they had the confidence in there when they had to come up with those short passes was Curtis Samuel. And it's a plus 370 spot for the touchdown. So give me that Curtis Samuel, and the Washington Commanders a plus 9.5.
And sorry, what was the anytime touchdown on Curtis Samuel?
Plus 370.
Plus 370 for Curtis Samuel, plus 9.5, minus 108 for the Commanders at Heritage. We got to speed this up a little bit. We have 4 games left for Mikey before the big Ragu joins us. Next up, Atlanta Falcons, 5-6, 1-4 on the road. The New York Jets, 4-7, 2-4 at home. We're at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 50 Fahrenheit showers, 7 miles per hour for the Falcons. Mac Hollins, wide receiver, and cornerback Mike Hughes listed as questionable. They're a pretty healthy group, as is the Jets. Dalvin Cook was listed on as a shoulder injury. He says he's good to go and will play. Breece Hall, hamstring, good to go and will play. And Wes Schweitzer with a calf injury on the offensive line, very important to them. He's still listed as questionable. From a spread perspective, I told you guys, it's all of Monday I wanted to bet the Falcons. I had to convince myself all of Monday not to do it. And I'm thankful that I did here. Right now, the Jets are down to 1.5 at some books. It is moved back up to 2 here at Pinnacle, moved back to 2, but it was 2.5 when I was staring at it all day on Monday. From a total perspective, we are down to a 33.5, and it is juiced to the under. This was available at 35 when it opened, dropped to 34, now at 33.5. I wonder if the Sky Dragon is thinking about trying to get over this total with the possibility of defensive touchdowns. And then cash-wise here, we have no information on the side for whatever reason. We do on the money line, though, 55% of the tickets, 59% of the cash on the Falcons, and then 85% of tickets and 94% of cash on the under. Take it away, Mikey. You have a side and a very interesting prop, Falcons-Jets.
Yeah, I got to go with the under in this game here. We got 2 shitbag teams out there that are trying to play for the shitbag bowl here, and I think this is where we're going to see this rain in the forecast. It's going to be a windy, rainy, not chilly. It's supposed to be in the mid-40s. But here we've got a guy in Tim Boyle. I can't believe they're going back to this guy. I mean, what? We didn't see enough of him before. 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown over his last 2 weeks. Great spot that I saw here. When the team rushes for less than 30 yards and the team they're playing has back-to-back games over 150 yards, the under has hit 10 straight times, and it's smoking the under by 10.5 points. The average line on that thing is 40. So even though we're sitting on an average of 40 with a total around 36.5 and now dropping significantly, I still want to jump in and get advantage of this under here. I think what we have in this game here really comes down to 2 things: Brian Robinson and Breece Hall, right? Those are the 2 options, in my opinion, that we look at for this game here and trying to figure it out. I think at the end of the day, we saw this, that the coaching staff said, hey, we're going to try to figure out, how to get this guy more involved from the Atlanta side of things in the game. Since then, he's gone out there and he's been effective and productive on the ground. I don't think it's a great Desmond Ridder spot, and I don't know that we're going to see Desmond Ridder. I still think there's a lot of variance in what's going to happen out there at the quarterback position. But this game, to me, profiles in a run festival. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, 2 weeks ago with that, boomeranging of the quarterbacks. New England Giants last week and the boomeranging of kind of that offensive positions. And I think I said Brian, I meant Bijan, right? But at the end of the day here, I looked at the props on this game. Every single touchdown scorer this morning was a plus money spot. Rarely do you see an opportunity like that, but it's going to lead me to the next spot that I'm excited to talk about as well. Favorites going back to 2013 with a total under 39, 42-69 to the under. Also, we got a spot here. I talked to you guys about that spot with the team and the rushing yard factors. We've got an average score in those games where the team less than 30 rushing yards back-to-back against an opponent with over 150 rushing yards, 17-10 in those scores. The favorites coming off a total under 39, 42-69 in both of those spots. There hasn't been an average of a touchdown scored in any quarter collectively. The highest number that we've seen in that one spot that I referenced, 17-10, was 6.8 points in the second quarter. Everything else is 3 points or less to add up and chip away to come up with those numbers. That's going to lead me to the big opportunity prop that I'm looking here. Is no touchdown scored in this piece of shit game at 30-1. Give me that plus 3,000 on FanDuel. No touchdown scored.
Plus 3,000 for the no touchdown. I'm going to line shop for you for the best available line on the under. Try and find you a 34. I will do that right after this next spot here to set up for you. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. It looks like it's the end of my Survivor run here. I should have switched last night. I didn't realize the announcement of the out for the Buccaneers had been announced. And huge market move towards the Panthers. Levante David growing out, another linebacker, a crucial one in Devin White, out with a foot injury. And then Jamel Dean, ankle and foot, defensive back, out. Not good. Now, the Panthers are beat up, too. Safety Von Bell out. Both of their tight ends look like they won't be able to play. Hayden Hurst concussed. And then Tremble with a hip injury, doubtful. And then, J.C. Horn is such a big piece to this puzzle. And he's got the hamstring injury right now. But they get C.J. Henderson back, and that's going to be a huge, huge help for these Panthers. Let's quickly take a look at the line history, and there's been a monstrous move towards the Panthers. Already heard from Troy and North Ender that Carolina is their best look on the entire day. We know the coaching change has taken place. And let's take a look at the line history here. This is now at a 3, basically. You can still get a 3.5 at Pinnacle, but it's down to a 3 at most books right now. This was, opened up at 6 or 5.5 or 6.5, depending on what book you use. And then from a total standpoint here, we have the total at 36.5. This is juiced to the over. This opened up at 38. This did get down to 36. It's popped up a half point. And then cash-wise here, we have these Panthers, 58% of the tickets on the Panthers, 75% of the cash, 74% of the tickets, and 93% cash on the under. Take it away here for us, Mikey. Panthers, Buccaneers.
Yeah, so a lot of guys are saying that in the chat as well, and shout out to this chat, of course, on this beautiful Sunday morning here. But what happens in the coaching transition? What do we see over the course of the last 10 years? The game after a terminated coach have won 60% of the time. So that's kind of the first piece and foremost out here. But the big difference for me with this Carolina Panthers team was you got to read between the lines. It's more than just, the coach got fired because they're a bad team. The coach did not want to draft, who they've got out there, Bryce at quarterback. He wanted to go with CJ Stroud. The ownership forced him to get in that opportunity that they're stuck with. And that's kind of where things kind of started moving right off the gate. The honeymoon was on a bad spot right from the hop. Secondarily, you look at kind of the play calling out there, and Frank Reich loved Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was kind of a gas bag and really not getting any effectiveness on the ground. Anytime the play calling changed hands from Frank Reich to the other side of the ship, what did we see? We saw that they stuck in Chuba Hubbard. And Chuba Hubbard was averaging a ton of yards on the ground out there. So Baker Mayfield, as a favorite, is a fade spot. He's 24-13 to the fade on Baker Mayfield. He's not covering by almost 3 points a spot. And the big one for me, when you look at a team, that's coming in a season with 1 win or less on the season at this point of the season, are 63-30 overall, picking up that second win at 3.6. Baker's not a favorite. We know that the coaching change is going to bring some fresh air and some fresh life into the organization and the program. Away dogs versus the division when they're playing on a line that's less than 7 points are 17-1 as well when they have less than 2 wins on the season. It's a great spot for me to take Carolina with that plus 3.5. I still got the 3.5 at minus 110 on points bet. You're muted. Jimmy, you're muted. Muted.
Muted, Jimmy.
Cute. Sorry about that. Thank you. Sorry about that. We do need to speed this up a little bit here for this spot. 4:25 p.m. The big one, 49ers, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 52 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 5 miles per hour. You're going to hear a lot of cappers talk about this game today, and you're going to hear cappers on either side of the fence here. Armstead is in. Eric Armstead is in. Defensive tackle was questionable all week. He will play. For the Eagles, linebackers Zach Cunningham out. Safety Justin Evans out. Dallas Goedert doubtful. That's the situation there. Let's get into the line history here for this one. From a spread perspective, we've seen this move to a 3, but it's not a real 3 over at Pinnacle. This is a 2.5 now at Pinnacle. If you want the Niners minus 3, you can get them at plus 106. So we have some buyback on the Eagles here. From a total standpoint, we have a 46.5. Sorry, let me move over back to Pinnacle. They are hanging a 47. This is an interesting total. It got up to 47.5, and it was juiced pretty heavy to the over at one point. It opened up at 45.5. We're sitting right now at 47, juice to the under. And cash-wise here for the big game on today's card, 67% of the tickets, but just 47% of the cash on the 49ers. Big bets have been trickling in on the Eagles, and 60% of the tickets, 83% cash on the over. Mikey, take it away. We got to speed this up. Niners, Eagles.
Tough rain game again. It's going to be the third rain game in a row for the Eagles here. If you look at this Jets game, we'll see the similar weather pattern going on for this Eagles game. And okay, I'll give that to the 49ers. They're better than the Bills, especially when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. But right now, what I'm seeing out of this team here with the San Francisco 49ers is they're scared. They're scared to come in. They're low character individuals that talked a lot of smack last season about these Eagles and how they won that game. And what do they do all week? Like a bunch of cowards, they walked it back. I wish we didn't say this. I wish we didn't say that. They're still living in the past. If our quarterback didn't get hurt, this and that and the other thing, it might have been a game. Meanwhile, the Eagles have their quarterback on an MVP pace. They're 7-1 in one-score games, leading the NFL. They got the number one scoring defense in the NFL. They've played the hardest strength of schedule, and you're going to make them a dog at home? The complete disrespect. Go ahead. Take those San Francisco 49ers, not me. Eagles +3. I'm taking the money as well, the +140 spot on the money line. A.J. Brown, 125-yard reception guy on the season. He can go out there and bang out 125 yards like he's going to bed with the beer in his hands. It don't make a difference for him. He's happy to just be there. Devonta Smith's going to be a guy that gets the job done. We got Swift, and again, we got Hurts running at an MVP pace. We added Kevin Baird to the defense out there. Yeah, I get it that they fourth most passing yards, but when push comes to shove and they put a pass rush on those soft 49ers, they're going to crumble like little babies sitting there waiting for the babysitter to come change their diapers, and the Eagles are no babysitters. They're just going to smack those bottoms and send them on their way back home. Give me the Eagles +3 and the money line at +140.
You got it locked in, +3 -1 away. I'll see if I can find better than +140 at this point. Let's move on to the final spot on the board. It is our Sunday nighter. I spent way too long on the SGP for this one, and I got one. I can't wait to talk about it for our live stream, but I got 8-1 SGP for tonight's action. Kansas City Chiefs, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 30 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 5 miles per hour. As we know, Nick Bolton's going to be out for a long time, but he still hasn't been placed in IR. Aaron Jones is out, and then Eric Stokes is not coming back. We thought he might be coming back. He's just listed as doubtful at this point. And then the others should all be in the lineup. We'll see. But, 2 safeties and Rudy Ford and Darnell Savage, a linebacker Devondre Campbell, cornerback Jair Alexander will be in the lineup. Wide receiver Dontavian Wicks will be in the lineup. So let's move on to the line history here. This is the final spot on the board for Mikey. From a side perspective, we're still dealing with 6s. This opened up at 6.5, dropped down to 5.5, sitting at 6 right now. I am on the Packers +6.5. And I do want this under at some point, though. I'm just wondering, could it go up to 43? Now it's at 43 across the board. It's at 43.5 now at Pinnacle. This was some good waiting. Now, do I even move on it now? I don't know. It is juiced to the under at the 43.5 at Pinnacle. And then from a cash flow perspective here for our Sunday nighter, we have 45% of the tickets, 49% of the cash on the Chiefs, 55% of the tickets, 66% cash on the under. Take it away, Mikey, your last spot on the board.
Last spot, I'll be quick, but all you guys that are haters in that chat, make sure you show up for the Sunday night live stream. Let's go back at it, and we'll review and recap. I went with the teaser here, though. I got the Green Bay +12. I got the under 48.5. Jordan Love surprised me last week. I mean, right off the hop, it wasn't like one of those games where you could tell that very first play, they meant business. He came back to life. His offense has sparked up around him. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions in his last couple of spots out there. And this is a great sell high spot on Kansas City. After Kansas City's gotten a win of 14 or more points, they're 0-7 against the spread, and they're not covering by almost 8 points. They're 2-5 to the under, going under by 3.5 points. And Green Bay is very much in this thing for a wild card opportunity. Furthermore, Sunday primetime home dogs, 26-12. That's a 61.9% clip. 16-28 to the under. When you tease it, those numbers move up almost to 85% overall. I had to pop those two together for it to make it happen for me here. I'll give you something for that number for your under to think about as well, Jimmy. Primetime road favorites or small dogs coming off a game with a line that's longer than -9.5, right? So meaning there's less points than -9.5. 26-0 to the under, going under by almost 10 points as well if it's between weeks 4 and weeks 18. So Good spot for this under. I think it's a great opportunity to tease these two teams. It's way too many points for a team that's fighting for their life and starting to come together against a team in Kansas City that we know can certainly be suspect on the road.
Packers plus 12. We'll also give you the under 49.5 because it's gone up to 43.5. So for show purposes, the teasers plus 12 and under 49.5. Let's review all of Mikey's action here. He's on the under 41 in Arizona, Pittsburgh. He's on Commanders plus 9.5 and Curtis Samuel anytime touchdown plus 370. He's on the under, and I didn't find. Can you line shop for me on that under in the Atlanta game? That's my bad. 33.5 minus 108. I think is the best. Yeah, it's almost all 33s now. 33.5 at minus 108 is what we'll give you. Under 33.5 at minus 108. And no touchdown at 30-1. Panthers plus 3.5 at minus 109. Eagles plus 3 at minus 108. And Eagles money line at plus 140. And then he's teased the Packers plus 12 and the under 49.5. And we'll have a lot to talk about here this evening for Packers, Chiefs, and Mikey will be right there with us. I can't wait for tonight, Mikey. Can't wait to pour beverage and live bet with you this evening. Please follow our man Mike at PimpSlapPod and check him out Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. on Last Call. Mikey, any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
No, man, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to come back, share some looks with you guys. Jimmy, appreciate always spending time on camera with you. I am looking forward to tonight myself. Shout out to everybody that joined us tonight, and I got to keep it brief. Good luck to our guy at Ragu. I'm coming for him with that 30-1 spot tonight as well. So appreciate everybody, man. Shout out to everybody.
There he is, Mikey M. And yes, Nutflush has an idea that because I am a Niners guy, that if Philly gets beat, we put Mike in a diaper at Pupapalooza and I put him over my knee and spank him. I'm going to pass on the spanking part of it. We can discuss the diaper. But I'm going to pass on the spanking. Let's bring on that champion of season 1 and the man that everybody is trying to catch right now. He is just an unbelievable capper. We're fortunate to roll with him, and we have him here. Season 3. So season 2, he came 4th. Season 1, he won. Right now, he's first of 25 cappers, 31 and 22, plus 8.6 units. Please welcome from Ocala, Florida, by way of New York City, the big Ragu in the house. Doc, how are you?
Baby, tomahawk chop all fucking day long. Fuck you, college football, the analysts. We're going to the championship round. I don't give a shit what anybody says. What's happening, everybody? I'm ready to kick some ass today. Tired of hearing all this bullshit.
It's great to have you, buddy. Congratulations.
Hey, Mikey had me pee my pants backstage. He really did, man. Shout out to Mikey M. You got to love him on screen. And I want to see that diaper spanking, but not today. Maybe another time.
I love it. And congratulations to your Seminoles. We get right to work. 1 p.m. Eastern. Denver Broncos 6-5, 2-2 on the road at Houston Texans, 6-5, 4-2 at home at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. The Broncos are a very healthy group. Cornerback Damari Mathis is questionable, the back injury. And for the Texans, as we talked about off the top, Tank Dell will be playing, but Dalton Schultz is out. Noah Brown is expected to play as well, but Tank Dell will be in the lineup. The issue really is Jake Hansen here for them, and Sheldon Rankins are needing them desperately in the lineup. We are sitting here at a 3. It's juiced to minus 116 for the Texans. If you want the Broncos plus 3, they'll give you it at plus 107 right now at Pinnacle. From a total side of things here, we're dealing with a 40. Oh, that's a Bovada. Sorry. We're dealing with a 47 over at Pinnacle, slightly juiced to the over. We do see some 47.5s on the board, but this is a 47. It opened up at 46, went up a point, and has stayed there. From a cash flow perspective in this one, let's get back up to the top here. We have, here we go. We have 54% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the Houston Texans. We have 28% of the tickets, but 61% of the cash on the under. Take it away for us, Doc. Your first game on the board, Broncos Texans.
Yeah, Houston. Stroud. It's all revolves around Stroud. You know what he does. Top 5 quarterback rated in the league. Number 2 in passing yards, behind Sam Howell. Tank Dell, like you said, and Nico, those are his hookups. They've done a lot of nice things. At home, they've been pretty solid all the way around, 4-2 at home, but just 2-4 to the number. Denver, a lot of their numbers are skewed on the defensive side because of that big blowout with Miami. But if you look at what Denver's done of late, pretty impressive. I think they're averaging like 16 points per game on defense. They took down the league's number 1 passing defense last week. Mind you, no Myles Garrett, but he'll be back today for the Browns. but it's still impressive no matter how you do it. Both of these teams have been impressive of late. My take on this game is I was looking towards the number on the total. You got a team that's giving up, like say, 16 points a game on average. Where Houston at home, they play pretty tight. They average about 25 and give up about 21. But like I say, Denver's numbers are a little skewed on the defensive side. But if you go over the last 5 games, they've been holding things down. And I think Wilson, the thing with the Denver, they have the league's least. I think they're number 29 or 30 against. No, number 31 against the run, like 6 yards a carry they're giving up. So maybe Houston exposes that a bit, and takes the ball out of. They definitely want to take the ball out of C.J. Stroud's hands. So I don't know what their game plan is going to be here, but if they put it up in the air, I think they're crazy. I think they need to run the ball a little bit more, and I think they will. So that puts me on an under here. I know the numbers ticked up a little bit, but I think we see like under 45 points in this game is what my cap comes out to. So I think I'm getting a little bit of value. I need 7 touchdowns to lose, right? So give me the under here. I think this game stays under.
And let's see if I can get you a 47 and a half at a respectable book. I can. Under 47 and a half minus 108 for Doc. That's how he gets his card started here with Broncos Texans. Next up, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, we have Birdie and Spenny talking about this spot right now in the chat. Birdie says, "Are we smashing the Rams today?" 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Browns 7-4, 2-3 on the road at LA Rams. 5-6, 2-3 at home. We're at SoFi Stadium, as we said off the top. DTR out with a concussion, and Joe Flacco starting at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Marquise Goodwin still in concussion protocol and out. So, and cornerback Denzel Ward with a shoulder injury is out. They do have depth in that spot on the corners, but it is a big loss for them. Let's get into a pretty healthy squad here for the Rams. It's just Quentin Lake, safety, out with a hamstring injury. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We are sitting at a 3.5 for the Rams. This has been all over the map. This opened up at 5 and then dropped to 3.5. It was 3.5 for a long time, and then it jumped up to 4 with Flacco's announcement. But it's right back at 3.5 right now with the plus 3.5 juiced on the Cleveland Browns side of things. From a total perspective here, we have this sitting at 40. It's dropped to 39.5 at Pinnacle. Pinnacle's got 39.5 at a pick'em. This opened up at 38.5, and it got all the way up to 40.5 before this buyback. And then cash flow wise, let's get that up here. Sorry, move that over here. From a cash flow perspective, we have 65% of the tickets on the Rams, but just 50% of the cash. There are still big bets coming in on the Cleveland Browns with Joey Flacco at quarterback. 41% of the tickets and 83% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Doc. We have the Browns at the Rams.
I'm totally shocked that the Sharps are on the Browns again, right? Every week it's the Browns. But hey, I get it. The defense. But defense is a little nicked up here, guys. And Joe Flacco, the last time he played the Rams is when they were in St. Louis, and probably some of the guys in the chat were in diapers when that shit happened. But today, he gets the call, with the Jets, past couple years, how effective is he going to be against the Rams? Which, the Rams at home, they're pretty decent. They're yielding about 20 points a game. I got this game to a little bit of a sneaky over here, but I'm not going to get there with it. That 3.5 to me is telling. Some of our guys with experience in the chat, you brought up Birdie, Spenny, when you're sitting looking at a 3.5 number, I'd rather lay 3.5 than a 3, to be honest with you. I know it's crazy that sounds, but even though it's back down a little bit and went back up and back down, I think the Rams are a little bit healthier. I know they get Garrett back today, but there's a lot of nicked up pieces on the Browns on the defense. That's going to put a ton of pressure. Flacco is going to put even more pressure on the defense here. I mean, how effective is he really going to be? More of a game manager style play. You're going to see a ton of Ford. I would, if I'm a prop guy, which I'm not, but I would be definitely looking at Ford props here because I think they're going to use the shit out of him in this spot here. But they can score. They can give up the ghost too a little bit here, but to me, for my money, that 3.5 is really telling. I was hoping that we'd get, if it was sitting at 4, I would still lay the 4 here, but I just think Flacco is going to be up against it here, just coming out of the woodwork to try to take on a Rams team that's not world beaters, but, they're getting healthier. I think offensive line, that's the matchup here versus the front line, but I think overall, the Rams are good enough here to kind of – my numbers show the Browns. They really do, but my brain tells me this is a spot this is a good spot for the Rams actually. So I'm going to back the Rams here, laying the 3.5.
Ragu is on the Rams. We move on to the big one that we've already set up. So take it away, Ragu. San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I got a rule. Don't bet against Mahomes. I had that rule with Brady. I have that rule with Mahomes. But like to Mikey, what Mikey was saying earlier, the favorites have been 12-4, last week. They smashed the Bucs up pretty damn good. I think this is the week where, dogs are live in a lot of spots to the number. I think this is another one of those spots, the KC defense is pretty legit. They play very well. I know they're 4-1 on the road, 3-2 to the number, where Green Bay is like 3-2 at home and 3-2 to the number. So as they win, it goes with the number here. So do we think that Green Bay is live to take down Kansas City? I don't know. They might be. Last year, when Love played this game, he had I think he had a 69 rating with a TD and a pick, but that was last year. This year they're kind of putting things together and they're surging right now, and I think it's a good spot for them at home versus the Chefs with them, with their vulnerability on the road to what Mikey said. Even though they are 4-1. And I kind of lean under in this spot too. I think I like the under, but I'm not going to be it. I'm going to take the points here. I'm going to take the points with the pack here at home, and I lean under. So first I was going to play the under, and I know we talk about these primetime unders, how much of a thing they are, but I think just today, the Bucs get their money back on the sides, and I think this is one of the sides that make that happen. So I'm going to take Green Bay plus the points here.
Green Bay plus the points. Sorry, I'd set you up for 49ers Eagles, so we did confuse the audience a little bit there. 49ers Eagles I'd set up. So Chiefs Packers, we're moving on to Packers here for Doc. Yeah. We apologize that Packers plus the points for Doc. I'll line shop there. That was the Packers Chiefs game. Let's go back to the 49ers Eagles game. That's what they were expecting to hear from you, Doc, but I'll lock you down for the Packers. Here we go. Niners Eagles.
Yeah. Another game, another primetime winner here, guys, even though this is a 4:00 game though, isn't it? 4:25.
Yeah.
But it's a primetime game in my book, no matter how you shape it up. So all Philly has done is basically take down all the better teams in the league, with the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Bills, questionable how they've been playing. 10-1, 5-1 at home, 4-1 to the over. Team feast at home. This is the game last year, like Mikey says, where they lost Purdy. What if? But a lot of things coming to fruition here. The 49ers had a good start, shaky middle because of the injuries, but kind of held things together. Now they're getting healthy again. So. This is probably going to be, you're probably looking at a possible, NFC Championship matchup again here, guys. But this time Philly kind of controlling their own destiny, trying to keep that home field advantage intact, with the win over the Cowboys. And if they beat the 49ers here, then you might as well write their ticket basically to the NFC Championship game here. So, again, a team that's getting points at home, against a team that, had played pretty well on the road. The 49ers have done real well on the road, averaging like 32 points a game, where Philadelphia has kind of been like middle, like around 26, but their defense has been pretty decent. I'm sorry, Philadelphia is averaging 32 points a game, where 49ers averaging 26, but San Fran's defense on the road has been really, really solid. Just yielding over 2 touchdowns. So this is another one where my numbers kind of favor me towards the 49ers. But the optics put me on Philadelphia here because of late what they've been doing. I think Philadelphia, they don't roll here, guys. They squeeze one out in a squeaker, +3. I was thinking about money line, but I think, +3 is the way to go here, guys. I got I got them, covering by 2 actually. So, winning the game by 2 points. But I'm going to take the 3 points here just to be safe. I was going to do money line, but I like Philadelphia at home plus the 3.
And now it's expensive, except for at MyBookie. It looks like MyBookie's still hanging a +3 at -110. So Ragu is in. That's the last +3 at regular juice that's left. And can somebody, if anybody's got MyBookie up, let me know if that is facts there. Eagles +3 at -110. All right, let's go into the final spot on the board. It is our Monday Nighter. You and Dutch Boy Fresh are giving us looks on the Monday Nighter. We'll be live right here for it. Cincinnati Bengals at Jacksonville Jaguars, Everbank Stadium, 62 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 miles per hour. We have heard that Etienne will be good to go in this one. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one, and we got to be tight here. We're a little behind schedule. We have the Jaguars now as 10-point favorites. There are even a 10.5, but it's expensive on the board if you want the Bengals plus 10.5 -119 over at Pinnacle, but 10s everywhere else. And this total was climbing. It's now at, I guess it dropped back down, but it's at 39 right now. This opened up at 41. This was at 40 yesterday at Pinnacle. It's now dropped back to 39. There were also 39.5s on the board. From a cash flow standpoint, and we have Sean Higgs on deck, ready to rock for us here. On a cash flow standpoint, we have 87% of the tickets and 95% of cash on the under. And then we have 72% of the tickets and 65% of cash on the Jaguars. Take it away, Ragu, the Monday Nighter.
Yeah, pretty simple cap here, guys. I mean, this is a play on the non-existent offense that's going to show up for the Bengals. They didn't invest in the quarterback. They had to go to the supermarket and grab a QB to throw to the Wolves here. Jags at home have been pretty good of late. They took that thrashing of the Niners, but to me, I don't want to lay doubles with the Jags at home where they had some struggles early, but they played a lot better of late at home. But I think it's going to the Bengals are going to be up against it, to put points on the board, which is going to put pressure on their defense, which is going to set up the Jags to score points. So I'm not going to lay the doubles, but what I will do is I think Jags are going to be well enough to score better than 24 points at home here. So I'm going to be on the Jags team total over.
Jags team total over. I'm in the line shop for that right now. And that was a stale line over at MyBookie. Thank you for letting me know, RVD. So that +3 is -115. We're going to get this Jags team total over. That's going to be part of my SGP for tomorrow night's game is the team total that you're on here. Jags team total over is at 24.5 here at Pinnacle at +101. That work for you?
That works, brother.
Okay, Jags team total over 24.5 at +101. All right, Ragu, our current champion right now, our leader, and I should say our season 1 champion and our current leader. Jags team total over 24.5 at +101. Packers +6 at -108. Eagles +3 at -115. Rams -3.5 at -104. The under 47.5 in Denver, Houston Texans. Doc, thank you so much for making time for us, my man. Doc will also be rocking with us on the Monday night live stream tomorrow evening, and he's got locked in. Do you have a teaser here for us today?
No. How about if I give you a small parlay, though, to take with you?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Never first on screen parlay. Ready?
Yeah.
Philadelphia money line, whatever that is.
Okay.
All right. The Rams -3.5 and under 47, whatever you got me, 47.5 on the Houston game.
Okay, I'm going to put this into Pinnacle right now. This is the first parlay given out by our guy, Big Ragu. That is the Eagles money line to get this started. That we're going to use Pinnacle for all this, so that's a +130. And then we have the Rams -3.5 right here. That's at -103. And then we have the under 47.5 in the Houston game. So let's just to get that 47.5. The 47's -103. The 47.5 -111. -111, good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we get the -111. That comes out to a +761 parlay.
Book it, Dana.
+761 for Ragu. Ragu, thank you so much for making time for us. Please follow Ragu on X at Big Ragu62. Ragu, any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Let's have a big day, chat. Let's go, baby.
There he is, the Big Ragu. Last year's Rookie of the Year for us on our show was Spenny. He came out of nowhere and fired up second. It's tough to call your next guest a rookie because he's been in this business for a long time, succeeding for a long time. And he's not only on the top of the charts here for our show in NFL, multiple spots where he is dominating, and he's been a monster with us. This will be our next guest's a fifth appearance on the show. He's been in the black in 3 of the 4, 13-6 plus 6.17 units. Please welcome star of Midday Money, Mr. Sean Higgs, to the show. Sean, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good. I can't complain. Although I got a little. Do I have an echo? I sound a little scratchy to myself.
Yeah, you sound a little scratchy. You want to? Let's get you in and out. Maybe. We get Sean in and out. So Sean is going to answer a difficult question right here off the top because Sean didn't tweet out his action. We're going to be going with lines that are available right now. He wants the Chargers, New England Patriots under, and we'll see if the number is comfortable for him because this is the exact same question that Don Play just asked. Let's hear you, Sean.
Hopefully, there we go.
Yeah, you're in business. Chargers, Patriots, Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, 45 Fahrenheit, rain, 8 miles per hour. We haven't talked about this game yet. And the Chargers are missing their safety, TJ Woods, who is sick. Tight end Nick Vanette is not that important. Defensive back Jazir Taylor is out. And offensive lineman Zach Bailey all out. Keenan Allen will play, dealing with a quad injury. He will play. And we expect Trey Pipkins to play as well, but he's dealing with a wrist injury, still questionable. Demario Douglas is out, still in concussion protocol for the Patriots. And then they have, as always, a bunch of players questionable that we expect to play. From a side perspective here, New England is down to 4.5. They are plus 4.5. They opened up as 6-point dogs. There's been a 1.5 move towards them. And then for this total right now is being dropping. We did see it move up earlier in the week, which was absolutely shocking. Right now it's at 39. This total got up to 41.5 at one point this weekend. We were just blowing our minds how that had happened. It's now back to 39. This opened up at 39.5, so it's a half point off of the opener. And from a cash flow standpoint here in this one, we have get over here. Here we go. We have 67% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the Chargers, and the line's moving towards the Patriots. Then we have 83% of the tickets and 97% cash on the under. Take it away for us here, Sean. Chargers, Patriots.
Yeah, so when I messaged it was 40.5 on this, and I'd still go under the 39 here. I mean, what you ran down injuries. That stuff is minimal to me. Obviously, I sent you a game on Wednesday or Thursday about this game. So I'm on the 40.5. Why are you going over here? New England is terrible. Last 10 games, they scored 17 points or more than 17 once. The Chargers are there's nothing nice to say about the Chargers. What do you expect? This game is going to be like their Green Bay game. You expect them to come out and have some kind of huge game, then they lose. This game's going to be 19-13 or something ugly. The fact that New England came out of the bye, and this is I have the Chargers -4. I got that on the open last week earlier. If that's New England's effort out of a bye week, I got to think that this club is gone. If whether they're just tuned out to Belichick or the game has passed them by, I'm not expecting much offensively here. I know they're talking about maybe Cunningham comes into play here. It won't make a difference. Just take the under. Don't think things here. Chargers are a sub 500 team for a reason. We saw them last week with this offense. Just go under 39, 38. Let it keep going down. New England doesn't score. New England doesn't score points. And they have a good defense. Their defense is solid. The Chargers against good defense, they're not putting up 27 points here. They're not putting up 24 points. Take the 37, like 27-10 is still an under here, folks. So take the under. That's that.
Under 39 at -109. That -4 is available again, Sean, at -111.
I could see that because when it got up to 5.5, 6, I'm like, I don't want to lay those numbers with the Chargers because I came in here 2 weeks ago and told you to take Green Bay. People are like, oh, the Chargers. No, they're going to lose to Green Bay. They lost to Green Bay. And, well, I thought they'd beat Baltimore the next week, that being that. Do I think they lose here? No, but I see this being, again, 23-20, 21-19, some low-scoring kind of game where the Chargers just wet themselves like they do? Absolutely. 5.5, 6, I'd lean Patriots. 4, I took the Chargers out of the gate because I thought they were going to beat Baltimore and this line would be 6.5 by game time. But they lose, they look bad. It opened 6. New England scores 5 points or whatever the heck they did against Tommy DeVito and the Giants. Yeah, there's no love for I take the Patriots here at this point. 5.5, 6, take New England.
But at
But
4,
four.
keep it off,
I'm
though?
staring at the 5.5 in front of me. That's why here. So,
Okay. Do we want to
yeah, the
keep the
4.
4 off?
No, I would probably go 4 right now. I mean, it keeps coming down. Again, I'm on the Chargers at 4 on my sites and games I bet early. But listen, will I be shocked if they lose this? No, not at all.
But your ascension up the ladder here, which has been fun to watch, is do you want the -4 at -111 here for your show record?
No, I'm just gonna keep the under.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're rolling on under 59
Sometimes
-1.
I got them doesn't mean I got to double down. We talk about this during live bet. You don't got to double down on something you're questionable at. I'm not going to say, well, I got to take New England this number down. Nah, I'll just pass. If it loses, it loses. I win enough where I could swallow loss. It's all right. You're going to lose sometimes, folks. Welcome to betting.
Gamblestein saying that current line's 4.5. It is at some books. Right now, -4 at Pinnacle, -111, and I'm logged in. So
but the thing is, Jimmy, it's like people just want to we're talking about a game. And there's X amount of games on a Sunday. You don't have to be on every one. Like, this is a game. Do you really want to be on a bad number if you can't get a good number? You don't have to be on it. Find the in-game on this. For all you know, this game's going to be 6-3 at halftime, and you could just be live betting the under all day long.
Yeah.
Herbert gets knocked out. Also somebody gets hurt. Just don't worry about the opening if you don't get a good number. The line is gone. You move on.
Let's move on to the next spot on the board here. It's Falcons, Jets. Montez Stewart says survivor pick. I mean, the clear survivor pick right now is the Steelers in most pools. Jaguars are second and Buccaneers are third. But with the Buccaneers injuries and the huge move towards the Panthers, that's pretty questionable at this point. Unfortunately, I'm on them in 2 of my 3 survivor pools. Atlanta Falcons, New York Jets. We already heard from Mikey M. He's not only just on the under, he's on no touchdown at 30-1. What's your plan? No touchdown at 30-1. What's your plan here for Falcons, Jets? Take it away, Sean.
Jets money line here. You know what? You survivor pick. Who won the survivor? Montez. Take the New York Jets. Jets. How the Falcons? I don't know who's quarterback in this game. Is it Ritter again? I'm not taking a dome rookie quarterback. All right, so he played last year a little bit. I'm as bad as the Jets are. There is no way I'm taking the Falcons here. No. I mean, some lose at Arizona as a favorite. They lost, I think, at Carolina or Tampa. Like, this is not a team to be favored. I don't care if it's 1. I don't care if it's 2. I don't care if it's 3. I'm taking the Jets. Tim Boyle explosion today. The Jets, 33. I mean, as they say, the lowest number on the board you're supposed to go under. The highest number you're supposed to go over. I think the Jets score today. I'm just taking the Jets on the money line. That's what I have for myself.
Jets money line available market wide +115 right now. Then we go into the big one, Sean. San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles. We've already set up the game. You have a first half team total and a first half total.
Yes.
Take it away. I'm very interested. Yeah. And Sean's playing it a different way than all the other cappers on the show. So take it away.
And a lot of times I come in and I really don't dabble into the first halves or stuff like this. But I'm going Niners first half team total over 10.5, and the first half 22.5 for the game or whatever for the first half for both teams. I think we're going to see points here. The Eagles defense gives up points. I know San Fran's probably the best defense they're going to face here. You could say that the Jets at home are a tough one, but Niners still bring it. I just think we're seeing points here. I think the Niners are in a spot where I hate throwing out the old, it's a revenge spot or this and that. But, my point is, yeah, it's a nice little revenge spot for San Fran. They're going to score some points here. The offense is a good offense. And Philly, and this is not just because I can't stand Philly. Sorry, Philly fans. I'm a big Philly guy. You have a team that literally every week is in the keeping teams around, pulling games out of the hat, winning games late, this and that. That's going to catch up. You're not going to be, I shouldn't say Gampy, because you saw the Vikings do it last year, catch every break. Catching breaks versus Super Bowl type teams like the Niners, I don't know, man. I think this will be a high scoring game. I like the game over as well here. If you want to go game over, fine. I think it's going to be a high scoring affair. It's going to be 14 points in the first quarter, probably between both teams. And I think at halftime, I'm not going to be shocked if this is like a 2017, even like a 21. I think we're going to see a lot of points in this game. I know, it's rain, it's this. I don't worry about that. You got running game on both teams. You got 2 quarterbacks, solid guys. I know Hurts is throwing a couple picks, but the guy wins games. He puts points on the boards. Let's go over first half and team total for me, Niners 10.5. Your mute's on. You're muted up.
Thank you. Can anybody find the 10.5? at a decent price right now.
And if it's gone up, it's gone again. I sent this whatever day. I know it's early. I probably should tweet him. I don't know why I didn't tweet him. We were in the message, and I like to move early on games here. That's how I want to get a good number, folks. We're not waiting for Lee Corso to put that hat on at game time here. Or a bunch of guys on TV to come in. A bunch of ex-players who have $1 million bank accounts come in who don't know what they're doing to tell you who to bet. Whatever. You want to go 11? I think the Niners scoring at least 14 minimum. I mean, honestly, I think they're probably going to score 17, 20 points in the first half here. So it doesn't make a difference if it's 10.5 or 18.5. I don't care.
Well,
ladder it up, as they say, folks.
If anybody in the chat can help us find a better price right now, the 10.5s minus 152 at Pinnacle. They're not offering the 10.5 at Bet 365. I'm going to pull up.
They got 11
books.
Pull up some 11s.
I'm going to try to. I need some help from the chat on this one. Please jump in and help. The first half over 23 is a regular VIG. First half over 23, a regular VIG for Sean Higgs. Let's review Sean's action here, and I need the chat to help us out. Oh, yeah.
As long as they're looking for stuff. What Ragu was saying about that 3.5 on a game,
mm-hmm.
I say that all the time. I see 3.5 and 7 hands on openers. I'm taking a fave. Like, don't fall into that little hook. Like, I'm going to get this extra. 2.5 and 6.5. I'm automatically on dogs. Now it's got to be an opening number. I don't like it when it moves because it opens at a 3 and then on Friday it's 3.5 or that's different. It has to open at that 3.5, 7.5 or 2.5, 6.5. And I'm going opposite the normal thinking. That's just me, but I'm glad to see old school Ragu thinks that way too. That's good to know.
It's important and very, very important
because people just think like, oh, that half a point. I don't know. I think they're trying to trick you there. Why is it 7.5? Although it didn't pay off with Oregon, they were a 7.5 opener and went to 9, and that was a full blown loser there. But
yeah, that was mind-boggling how poorly they looked early. We're gonna keep line shopping for the cappers in the chat on this team total and get you a good one here. You're also on so that's 49ers first half team total over, and then San Francisco Philadelphia first half over 23. Then we have the Jets money line at plus 115 and the under 39 minus 108 in Chargers Patriots. And he's off to midday money right now.
Yes.
Midday money. There's probably cappers in the chat waiting for it to pop off. He's midday money from Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Midday money with Mr. Sean Higgs. Sean, thank you so much for making time for us. Please follow Sean on X as well at Mr. Sean Higgs. Puts out action nonstop. Sean, any last words for the cappers here sporting the show?
Good luck, everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces in here from the show. So a lot of guys I've chatted with on your channel here with Dave and you and stuff. So good luck, everybody. Don't get crushed and don't, we got the playoffs coming up, college football. What do you think about that, Jimmy? Who's in?
I've been going over the list here for a little while. It's a tough one. Do you have your list?
I don't know because it's the Florida State hate. If you're going to say, well, they shouldn't be in because their quarterback's hurt. Well, how do you punish a team do you punish Alabama because they barely beat Auburn? I mean, how do you say that? If it's the 4 best teams, is Georgia in it? Are they playing good ball right now? I mean, you just lost. I don't know. It's. You know what they're going to do. They do their own thing. I feel bad for Florida State doesn't get in. You go undefeated. You beat 2. If it's going to be SEC, you beat 2 SEC teams. So, and you're complaining about, well, we lost to Texas. If Texas doesn't get in, that's an atrocity. They're saying Texas might not get in. Is that a joke? You beat Alabama. That game doesn't count. How does that game? Oh, they're playing better. What? The team that's undefeated is playing, I think, the best football in the land then, if that's the case. You have a team that's undefeated. Those 3 undefeated teams, and then who knows what's going to happen. Craziness.
Last year of this, but it's going to be fun to see who gets in. Sean, thank you so much for your time, my friend. Sean Higgs, currently ranked 3rd out of 25 cappers right here on NFL Pub Hub. Let's bring on your next guest. We mentioned that term Rookie of the Year, another experienced seasoned capper coming up next, but he's certainly been a revelation here on our show. 10-5 plus 4.9 units he's gone with us. Got out of the gate 7-1 here on the show and currently ranked 4th out of 25 cappers, coming to us from the great state of Texas, part of the great Brothers and Bets YouTube channel. Please welcome Marley to the show. Marley, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. Back-to-back Super Bowls. Feeling great.
Nice
Let's get
job.
to work.
Congratulations on your boys, man. Congratulations on the big victory for the boys that you coach. Marlon, we got to get to work. We got to be tight here. We're running a little behind. So let's get rolling here right up the hop. We head to New Orleans. This is a game that has yet to come up here. We have Alex Anzalone doubtful. That's a big loss for these Lions. And then Jonah Jackson's been questionable and barely been playing over the last couple months. For the Saints, Marcus May out, Rashid Shaheed out, Pete Werner out. These are big losses. They're thankful that Chris Olave is about to clear concussion protocol and will be in the lineup. Cameron Jordan and Eric McCoy also hurt right now and questionable for this one. This is a spot where I moved on the Lions early in the week, and I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm really uncomfortable. The fact that there's been a huge move towards the Saints here. I was excited when I saw 4.5 this morning. We now see 4. So if you want Detroit -4, that's plus money right now. That scares the shit out of me. I've got the first half 2.5 as well. It makes me very nervous. From a total perspective, we're sitting here with a 47.5. This opened up at 45. It's only climbed. And cash-wise here for this one, 69% of tickets and 71% of cash on the Lions, 62% of tickets, 77% of cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Marley, Lions, Saints.
I'm right there with you, Jimmy. I'll be quick. I'm on the Lions. You give me the -4 plus the money. They haven't lost back-to-back games this season. I know they only lost 3 games, but their previous 2 games before that, I can't remember who they lost to, but they played the Falcons the next week, beat them 20-6, and then they lost their second loss. Can't remember the opponent, but then they played the Raiders the following week, beat them 24-16. That's 2 double-digit wins. I expect the same thing here, mainly because of what you just said earlier. The Saints, who defensively, especially in the passing game, they're probably one of the top 5 defenses in the league in the secondary, but they're all banged up. There's no Lattimore. There's nobody really to fear back there for me. I think Cameron Jordan is going to be out. Like you said, mentioned Michael Thomas is out. He's missing Chris Olave coming back from the concussion. But I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Detroit Lions here offensively. And I think Jared Goff puts it together. I think he got a lot. At the beginning of the season, they were talking about his team at least getting to the NFC Conference Championship. Now all of a sudden, because they threw an egg on Thanksgiving, and now we're going to just throw them away. I don't think so. I'm not a big believer in Derek Carr and what this offense has been able to do. Only 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has a 22nd passer rating at 47.7 QBR. I don't believe in this offense, especially he's missing his weapons. All they really have is Chris Olave. And if you don't believe in Jared Goff, last 5 games, the Lions have been averaging about 160, 152 yards per rush. So if anything, they can still run the ball. I think the offense dominates here with the injuries on the New Orleans side of the ball. I'll swallow that 4 points. I feel good about the Lions here, -4.
-4 is plus 100. You could have 3.5 at -111. What would you prefer?
Give me the 4. I'll take the plus money.
All right, -4 at plus 100. Let's roll right into the next game here. We've already set it up for everybody, and that is Cleveland Browns at LA Rams. A lot of talk about this one in the chat, and we heard Ragu move on the Rams, -3.5 at -104. Take it away for us here, Marley. Browns, Rams.
Hey, I echo everything Doc said. I heard Doc. I'm right there on the Rams. I think McVay is just going to outcoach us. This is Stefanski. I don't even know who the Browns coach is right now. Their quarterback issues. No Flacco's the starter this week. Do we believe that Flacco is going to come in and muster any type of offense? He's going to be a game manager. All they're going to do is run the ball. They're not going to be able to spread out and run the offense. What has he been there? 2 weeks? So this is a quarterback-driven league, and the Browns don't have a quarterback. One little caveat before we go. As much as we talk about how good the Browns defense is, Jimmy, here's a secret. That's only at home. On the road, that defense is not the same defense. They give up 29.6 points a game on the road. At home, they give up 10. At home, they're only giving up 175.7 yards. On the road, they're giving up 334.6, almost 350 yards a game. That's more than double than what they're giving up at home. So I think as long as we got a healthy Stafford, the Rams offense can move the ball. We have a healthy Stafford. Who in the chat believes in Joe Flacco? Or does anybody believe in Joe Flacco? I personally don't. Give me the Rams minus the 3.5. As soon as I saw the injury, give me the money. I think that's easy money for us today.
Rams minus 3.5 at minus 101. Your final spot on the board, Marley, Kansas City Chiefs at Green Bay Packers, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We've already set this spot up. This total has been climbing, surprisingly, 43.5 now at Pinnacle. We have some 5.5s and some 6s on the board. We've already heard Ragu move on the Packers +6, and I'm on them 6.5 from Tuesday. Take it away for us here, Marley. Chiefs, Packers, our Sunday night live stream.
Yeah. Again, we're pressed for time, so I get it. I'm with you guys. I'm with Doc. I'm with Jimmy. I hate being with Doc because I'm trying to catch Doc, but he's so goddamn good. Fucking 2 games in a row. I can't gain ground on you, Doc, if we're taking the same goddamn plays. But I'm in agreement here. I like the 6 at home in the cold. Kansas City, they've been a bit up and down this season, especially offensively. Sometimes some games they're great, some halves they're great, and other halves they're not. Too many drop passes. Finally, we get the Packers with seemingly healthy defense. Alexander. Yeah, he's back. He's healthy. That's going to help in the secondary. Jordan Love, surprisingly, I think I've been on the Packers like 4 times we've done the show. I always say Jordan Love's fighting for his job. Over the past couple weeks, he's played very goddamn good football, and we all saw what he did against the Lions. It hurts that Aaron Jones isn't there because the Chiefs' defense, rushing-wise, isn't really that good. But I got some numbers I'll throw at you before we get out here. At home, the Chiefs' defense is a lot better. I'm talking about passing-wise. 5th in passer rating, 12th in sacks, and 16th in passer rating, 2nd in sacks, and 4th in interceptions. On the road, that goes to 32nd in interceptions, 12th in sacks, and it drops to the 5th worst passer rating defensively on the road against the Packers. I think Jordan Love has a good enough day. Look, we're not asking him to go out here and beat the Chiefs. We're just asking him to cover the line. I don't think they necessarily win the game, but I think they do enough, and defensively they hold the Chiefs down just enough for us to get the cover. That's all we need. And as far as the total goes, I'm kind of in agreement with the move. I like the over in this one, even though I know primetime games have been going under all year, but things have to change at some point. So I think, like Doc said, the books get their money back today. If I would lean over, I haven't jumped on it yet, but I'm all over that 6, Jimmy.
You've got it locked down. Our guy Marley Bets been running real nice here. Currently ranked 4th out of 25 cappers, 10 and 5 plus 4.9 units. He's on the Lions -4 at +100. He is on the Rams -3.5 at -101 and the Packers +6 at -108. Marley, before you go, can you please let the chat know a little bit about what's going on at Brothers and Bets?
Yes. Hey, we are back. Football season's over with. Coach is done coaching football season 2. So we are about to jump dead into college basketball. We're going to finish out the NFL season, and we got bowls, college football bowl season coming up. And follow me at Marley Bets. Y'all see it, Marley_Bets at Brothers and Bets. And Jimmy, Georgia has to go. I'm sorry. I love the Bulldogs. I love the South. They lost. Everybody else won. And it's simple as that. Fair is fair.
I love it. There he is. Our guy, Marley. You want to run with Marley and all of us, you come down to Pub Up Palooza. I had the chance to hang with Brothers and Bets, the team there, and their Money in the Bank. So much fun to roll with. So come down to San Antonio and roll with us. We just talked about the capper in 4th overall in NFL Pub Hub. Let's talk about the man right behind him in 5th out of 25 cappers. An impressive showing from our guy who is about to pop on the screen. 12 and 8 plus 3.37 units. He has put a lot of money in our pocket on the soccer pitch. Now we're on the gridiron, and he's putting money in our pockets here as well. Please welcome from San Jose, Costa Rica, star of the Bet US channel, my man, Flash. Flash, how are you?
I'm sweating this playoff business for the college football. Oh, what's going on? Chaos is an understatement. I mean, I think Georgia were robbed last night with not having the review on the 4th and long, lose by a field goal, go from rank 1 to like nowhere. You're like, oh my God, what's going on? The best team in football. And the big one, Jimmy, I know that whatever we say don't really matter, but if they get in the playoffs, they'll be favourite against any team. Maybe 4 or 5 point favorite. So if it's the best team and they would be the best team against any matchup, surely they should be in.
Surely they should be in. It's so tough, man.
It's so tough. It is. I mean, I don't even know what the Texans are talking about. Oklahoma State, me, you, Ragu under center. We would beat them.
No, that is true. That is true. It's going to be a wildly interesting decision that's going to be popping up this week. Flash, let's get into the NFL here because you have to make the same decision that we had our guy.
Oh, yeah,
Sean
listen,
Higgs.
I won't be like Mike taking 45 hours. Honestly, if I was this late for my plane, I'd have to book another plane. I'd missed it. Listen, under 39, happy. Don't see any team get into 20. See it 17-10, maybe 16-10. I just don't see. I'm happy to go under 40, under 39 and a half, under 39. Don't see either team scoring 20 points.
Next, we had a question from the chat. Terry Walker saying, is anyone on the Miami game or total?
Yes.
I find your look on this very interesting, and I know the chat will as well. We've already set up the game from Mikey M's spot. Mikey M moved on the Commanders plus the points, and he also moved on Curtis Samuel anytime touchdown. Flash taking a different route to get paid here. Take it away, Dolphins, Commanders.
Yeah, can I just say that the reason I've gone with these types of bets is because I fancy outside of maybe 2 or 3 teams, the matchups are trappy. You have to go digging this week. I do believe. I think the numbers are there to catch you out. I've gone with a Dolphins team total under 29.5, and the reason why, I think first of all, the home side will be running the ball, which then the clock, if you go in obviously with a smaller total, then it's your friend. But I see the Dolphins. It's all about the W for the Dolphins, so you don't want to be throwing interceptions. So again, I think that's a run first on their side of the ball as well. I see the Dolphins winning the game. I don't see them putting up 30 points. If they don't put up 30 points, then they're under the 29.5. And I think that's quite a big number, to be honest. I think maybe 24-10, 24-14, maybe. If the Commanders are chasing it late, they might get some garbage points. But for me, the Dolphins do not get to 30 points. So I'm going under 29.5 team total.
Team total under here for Flash on the Dolphins. We also heard Birdie talk about what the rain does to the grass in Washington over at FedEx Field. Now, I don't know how much rain there's going to be, but it has been raining there off and on, and that could hurt badly. The Dolphins team total available right at that 29.5 right now, available at Pinnacle at -112, under 29.5, -112. All right, we move on to the big one here. Yeah. And all we've heard, Flash, thus far, and it will be brought up again on the show, but all we've heard thus far is Mike M bullish on the Philadelphia Eagles. Then we heard Big Ragu moving on the Philadelphia Eagles. Sean Higgs took it from a different standpoint. He's on the 49ers first half team total over and San Francisco, Philadelphia first half over. Marley let this game go. So here we go, Flash. How are you getting paid in the big one, Niners, Eagles?
Well, first of all, I've got just as much respect for them from them Cappers as I have for these two sides. When there's 24 men out on the pit, out on the field of play, they are probably number 1 and number 2. Best team in football for me is the 49ers, but the Eagles managed to get it done by hook or by crook. Almost Patrick Mahomes like, almost Tom Brady like, that when their backs are against the wall, they get it done and they find a way. But I'm going with the 49ers under basically -1.5 first half. I think the D of the 49ers is going to cause them problems. And I think they win the game. I do believe they win the game. And I'm happy to put them in a parlay with the Chiefs. I think it pays +130. But I want to be with the Chiefs. I want to be with the 49ers in the first half. And if the Eagles come back again, then all credit to them because good teams manage to find a way. For me, I want to be with the 49ers to go into the half with a lead, -1.5, more than happy. Too many weapons on the 49ers. That's on the offensive side. And when it's on the defensive side, I think that Hurts is going to be scrambling his tits off.
And that's dropped now as there's been a late move towards the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers first half's now -0.5 at -0.5 at -112. Let's talk about this 49ers.
So what's the money line then, Jim?
It's mine. I thought about it too, but it's -136.
Okay, yes, that's half. Yeah, more than happy.
What would you prefer?
I'd prefer -1.5 at plus money then.
Okay, we can get you the -1.5. It's not plus money. It's -104.
See, look at that. That don't work out because 0.5 of a point should be 0.15 of a cent. So then, obviously, we're not getting a good value there. So, yeah, half at -112, minus a half, -112. That'll do me.
And what about the 49ers Chiefs money line parlay? Is that something
Yeah,
you
I
want to
want that. Yeah, plus 130. You might be able to get me a bit more, though, especially if the 49ers and Eagles are starting to come closer together. And I need to go against the Rigu. I know it's not a good thing. It's almost like betting Arizona and dogs chasing cars. There's no future in it for the second week running. I tried to tell you last week. But if you're going to go and beat the Rigu or catch the Rigu, you've got to go against him.
49ers Chiefs, a money line parlay here is plus 141. I know a lot of you guys are liking that spot. And the spots where we have a double up from Flash so far this year have all cashed. All his double ups have cashed thus far here on the show when he's gone side and money line. Here he's on 49ers first half side and also money line parlay 49ers Chiefs. Flash, you bring so much every time you're on screen, and we are very thankful that you choose to roll with us. What's going on at BetUS that you want people to know about for this week?
Oh, well, I've got a Premier League show tomorrow because we've got a midweek card. Then it's Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A on Thursday and Friday. It's just non-stop. But, I mean, I think it's all going to be dominated by the college football show. I'm not on it. I should be. You know I should be, but I'm not on it. But listen, we cover every angle. You know that.
Oh, I love it. I love it, Flash. Thank you for making time for us. Please follow Flash on X at Flash_37. Flash, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, will I see you before Christmas or not?
Yes. We need you.
I'll save it. I'll save it.
Sweet, my man. There he is, Flash in the house. What a great friend he is for us here at Pub Sports Radio. Let's move on to your next guest. Last year, we used the word revelation for Marley here. He was the same deal here for us last year. Making his NFL Pub debut, he skyrocketed all the way to second place. Second place of the 23 cappers we had last year. This year, week one, he comes out of the gate 3-9, down 6.05 units. He's come back and done 4 shows with us. On those 4 shows, he's combined to go 35-26 plus 13.05 units. He is now second overall yet again, 38-35 plus 7 units. It's been absolutely spectacular watching him work. I think he needs a bigger following for what he does, whether it be with the thoroughbreds or with the props across the board in every sport. I love what he's doing, and I love that he's doing it right here on Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome our next guest coming to us from the 6, a man known for the bombs that he provides, Mr. Spenny Penny Bombs, to the show. Spenny, how are you?
How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing, chat? I've seen watching everybody doing their parts earlier today. So let's get to it and get some money and try and catch that big Rigu for that number 1 spot. Let's go.
Let's do it. You're a little choppy. Maybe do you want to get you to exit out and then come back in?
Sure.
Spending very quickly. I'm going to set up your first game, and it is a player prop. We're going to start out 1 p.m. Eastern. The Arizona Cardinals 2-10, 0-6 on the road at the Pittsburgh Steelers 7-4, 4-2 at home for our guy Spenny. Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Is that better, Jimmy? Does that sound better?
Yeah, that's better. That's perfect. Thank you. 57 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 9 miles per hour, and it could rain late in this game. And we have set this show up. It was the first game on today's show from Mikey M. He's on the under 41. So we've already set up the line history and the injury issues. From an injury standpoint, there is important stuff going on in this game that we should touch on. First off, the wide receivers, well, the receiving core, I guess is a better way of putting it, are much stronger than thought at one point. Hollywood Brown, heel injury, will play, and tight end Trey McBride will play. And for the Cards here, they are missing 2 cornerbacks, Antonio Hamilton and Starling Thomas the 5th. Take it away, Spenny. You're hammering this from a player prop angle. Take it away, Cardinals Steelers.
Yeah, we got a prop day again here today. You know me, I like to try and attack from different spots here. I'm doing well with these player props, trying to keep it going here. So a spot that I like here Jalen Warren over 77.5 rushing and receiving yards at -115, and then also adding the 100+ rushing receiving at +240. Cards are giving up the second most rushing yards in the league right now. I think we're going to see a ton of Warren and Najee today. I just like Warren's ability to have that big run and break some big runs, and I like his ability to catch the ball as well. I think that the running backs are going to have a ton of usage today, both of them, and I like the way that Warren is. I think he's electric. So give me Warren's rushing and receiving yards over, and I'll take the 100+ at plus money as well.
Locked in Jalen Warren over 77.5 rushing receiving yards, -115, 100+ at +240. We move on to Colts Titans. I'm surprised this game hasn't come up. I'm doubling up on this game. I'm on the Titans on the side. I'm on the under 43, and this has not come up yet. So let's set up this spot line history-wise for Titans Colts. Let me move this up. This is now a pick'em at most books. The +1 is at even money here. +1 is at even money. From a total standpoint here, this opened up. Well, I got in at 43 on Tuesday. I can't remember exactly where it opened up, but we're sitting right now at 42. This opened up at 42.5. It got up to 43.5. I knew there was something up with it. Got up to 43.5 and now is at 42. I got in on the under 43. From a cash flow side of the equation here, this is the first time we've talked about this game that I love. I absolutely love this spot. We have the 70% of the tickets and 78% of cash on the Titans. That makes me a little uncomfortable, if they don't become favorites. And then we have 70% of tickets and 49% of cash on the under. And a very important injury note, and I've noticed, and keep an eye on why does Spenny continually succeed in player props? Why? And notice how many player props he has today that are based on an injury. Notice that when you hear his breakdowns. So we have Jonathan Taylor out with a thumb injury, and it's a big loss for the Colts, but it's a big angle for one of Spenny's two props in this game. Take it away, Spenny. Colts Titans.
Yeah, I got two plays on this side, and in this game, I got a player from each side here. We'll go off with D-Hop here first. So I like D-Hop over 51.5 receiving yards at -115. I like the 70+ receiving yards at +172. He had 140 receiving yards last time out versus the Colts. His secondary still hasn't got any better since then. I think that Levis and D-Hop on track here with the receiving again here. He's been a little bit, kind of mediocre the last couple of weeks. I think this is a great spot for them to get on track here again. I love D-Hop. He's absolutely just destroying everybody in targets on the team. He's got 83. The next up is 48 with the comp crew. So I think it's basically D-Hop and only D-Hop. There's a couple of players that they try to mix in a little bit more here and there, but I think D-Hop's in for a big game again today here. So I like him over 51.5 and the 70+ as well there. And then the other side, I like Zach Moss. We were talking about it earlier. Jonathan Taylor's out. Zach Moss averaged 21.5 touches per game and over 106 scrimmage yards per game when Jonathan Taylor was out. So this is kind of a spot where I think that he's going to get his rushing yards too. He had a huge rushing game last game against the Titans, but I think it's a spot where he's going to be catching the ball as well. Had 2 catches for 3 yards last game. I think he's going to have a little bit more catches this game. Taylor even played in that game where he went off against the Titans. So it's all just Zach Moss today. So Zach Moss over 18.5 receiving yards at -110, and then 25+ at +140 as well. Again, just think that it's going to be all Zach Moss today, and going to get a lot of catches out of the backfield.
2 bets here for our guy Spenny on Zach Moss over 18.5 receiving yards and 25 or more receiving yards. Mal, to explain it further, the first bet from Spenny, Jalen Warren over 77.5 rush and receiving yards, and he's gone 100+ rush and receiving yards. Spenny sets himself up where if he goes 50-50, some of his plus money spots cash, and he is in the black. And it happens time and time again when he rocks with us. So it's important to watch when you see a capper succeeding in a certain angle to really focus in on what is he doing to do that, because the prop market is very difficult. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. Broncos, Texans here. Tank Dell is in the lineup. We have set this game up already. Broncos, Texans here because I believe it was the under 47 was Ragu's spot to open up his card, under 47.5. And he loves that spot because he's also using it in his 3-game parlay at plus 761. And I'll put his 3-game parlay back in the chat. This is the Big Ragu 3-game parlay. Take it away, though. You're looking at this from a player prop market, Broncos, Texans.
I do like the Texans here, and I do think that they're going to be able to run the ball a lot. Again, it's Denver. This is the last ranked rush defense in the league. You have to be attacking them on the ground. Their secondary has become one of the top secondaries in the league. They're playing really well through the air right now on defense, but that ground defense is just awful. Singletary has been kind of taking over a little bit more. Pierce was hurt for a bit there, but he's came back. They eased him in a little bit last week. I think both running backs are going to be getting a lot of touches today. I think that Pierce can get at least 10 plus touches today, and his rushing yards are at 23.5. So give me Dameon Pierce over 23.5 rush yards at minus 110. I also like the 50 plus at plus 360. Again, I think that they're going to utilize both these running backs today. I think both of them have a great chance of getting over the rush pop today, breaking a couple big runs, and 23.5 and 50 plus. I think Pierce can get there easily. So I like that for Dameon Pierce today.
And that's the big score opportunity for you here, Spenny, is the Pierce rush yards 50 or more at plus 360. Let's move on to Panthers Buccaneers. I fear this is my swan song in the survivor pool. It looks like a mistake has been made here. Now, we'll see what happens in the 1 p.m. game. But we can talk about that if we have time at the end of the show. Let's get into the prop that Spenny is attacking here for Panthers Buccaneers.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Buccaneers still end up winning this game. I really don't trust Carolina. I know everybody's all hyped up about the coach change and everything like that, but I really don't see it. But my end, still, I'm going with the receiving prop for Carolina. Adam Thielen has been quietly, just an absolute Mr. Consistent for Carolina and for Bryce Young this year. He's got 100 targets, and the next closest up is Mingo with 57. He had a bad game last week. He's been consistently putting up numbers for Carolina and Bryce Young this year. So this Tampa Bay Bucs defense, the secondary is so suspect right now. They're giving up the 4th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. So I like Adam Thielen over 58.5 receiving yards at minus 114. And I also like Adam Thielen 70 plus receiving yards at plus 136.
Adam Thielen, there's been many games where he's been the only receiver that has put up anything statistically. He's having a great season and building chemistry with Bryce Young. Let's move on to the big one. San Francisco 49ers, Philadelphia Eagles. You've heard cappers on the Niners side of things. You heard cappers on the Eagles side of things. Now you're going to hear it the way Spenny attacks this game in the player prop market. Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Niners, Eagles. Take it away, Spenny.
It's Kittle. It's Kittle time, baby. It's George Kittle. We're taking George Kittle over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 110 and 60 plus receiving yards at plus 146. Again, this Eagles secondary again has been suspect this year. They're ranking near the bottom of the league in receiving yards and touchdowns allowed. I'm not keen on how this Philadelphia defense is playing. I think that the 49ers are going to be able to move the ball. I think Ayuk and Kittle definitely have a big game today. So I'm taking Kittle today. He's had already 6 games this year where he's gone over 60 plus receiving yards. So I'm taking a shot with Kittle today. I think it's going to be a lot of Kittle, a lot of Ayuk. And McCaffrey is obviously going to get his touches as well. But I think it's a nice big game here for Kittle today.
George Kittle over 46.5 receiving yards, 60 or plus at plus 146. Then Spenny's on Adam Thielen over 58.5 receiving yards. And so do you have anything else? Are you adding anything else?
That's good, man.
That's 70 plus at plus 136. Then he's got Dameon Pierce over 23.5 rush yards and 50 plus at plus 360. DeAndre Hopkins over 51.5 receiving yards and 70 plus at plus 172. Zach Moss over 18.5 receiving yards and 25 or more at plus 140. Jalen Warren over 77.5 rushing receiving yards minus 115 and 100 plus at plus 240. Your props have been huge and also very big on our live streams. Do you know which live stream you're going to be able to join us for this weekend?
I think I'll be able to do Monday, not tonight, but I'll post my plays like I always that I have for later. But definitely should be able to do Monday with as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. The last 4 shows, Spenny's 35 and 26 plus 13.05 units. I'm going to put his Twitter handle here into the chat. Please follow and support our guy, Spenny. He's just so selfless. He just wants us all to cash and asks for nothing in return. And he is a hell of a gambler. I'm going to pop this into the chat right now. Spenny, any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
No, I just, every single day we see, so many of you guys out in these chats every day supporting us, and we see it, every single day. It seems like there's growing numbers and new faces and new names. So just appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us every single day when we do these shows. I love coming out here. I love doing this stuff. So, I'll see you next time whenever we do the next live show.
I love it. There he is, Spenny Penny Bombs. We move to our next guest. He is part of the famed Earl Sports brother tandem, and he can look at what Spenny has done. Spenny opened up his season here 3-9, down 6.05 units, and has climbed out. That's what we need our next guest to do as well. He joined us on week 3, and it was not good. But we know he's a great capper, and we believe in him, and we wanted him back in action right now, right here. So please welcome Mr. Tim Earl to the show. Tim, my friend, how are you?
Doing well. Just sweated out the college football committee where they had Alabama as number 4. So interesting.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about for sure. And a very upset Big Ragu in the chat, as he should be. The first ever Power 5 school to go undefeated and not make the college football playoffs. Let's get right to work here, because you talk about a game that we have been discussing. We heard the under 47.5 in Broncos Texans for Big Ragu. Then we heard the Damian Pierce player prop over 23.5 rush yards and 50 or more from Spenny Penny Bombs. We also heard that our guy DX on the other side of this total, thinking that it could go over. How do you plan to bet this? Take it away. Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas, Broncos, Texans.
I do like the over, but I am on the Broncos in this one. I think the wrong team is favored. This Broncos team has kind of come out of nowhere. They start off 1-5. We all wrote them off, and then they rounded out 5 straight wins against quality opponents. Green Bay, Kansas City, Buffalo, a Minnesota team that was hot at the time, Cleveland, who's still a team that's in the playoffs of the AFC. So Denver has looked really good. And now Houston's looked solid too. They've after they had a little bit of a rocky start, they've won 3 out of their last 4 and 4 out of their last 6. I just see the clicking between Wilson and Peyton really start to go off, and the Broncos look dangerous now, to the point where we're having conversations where Broncos can make the playoffs, and that's not outlandish. And I do think they win this one, and I have the 3.5 for the contest pick. I would take their money line. I think they win this game outright. I am on the all over the Broncos on this one.
Well, what would you like to do for official record keeping? The plus 3.5 is minus 119. The plus 3 is plus 104. The money line is plus 150. What would you like? You could have side and money line, just one. What would you prefer?
Let's go 3.5. I want to get one. I need to get one of them in the bucket.
Plus 3.5 at minus 119, available right now at Pinnacle. Let's move on to the next spot on the board here, and we have discussed this game. And it's a big one for me, and I'm very, very concerned about the late market move. Let's move on to Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints. I thought we had it hammered here, but I guess I'm sure that we had somebody, but I can't find it now. Detroit Lions. I guess we haven't. I guess we were just talking about my great fear that I put myself in a bad situation in this. Oh, no, we did with our guy, Marley. Marley gave us Lions -4 at plus 100. I moved on this on Tuesday. I actually went into this cap expecting to find a way to get in on the over. With the injuries that were facing the Saints, I got off of that over. Now, we know that Olave has cleared a protocol for concussion, and he will play, but there's no Rashid Shaheed, there's no Michael Thomas, there's no Pete Werner, there's no Marcus May, Marshawn Lattimore out for an extended period of time. This is now the same line that when Marley just hammered it. It's at a 4 right now at even money, and I am concerned. Take it away for us, Tim. Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints.
I'm not concerned. One of the things that I like to look at is situational spots. What was the last thing we just saw from the Detroit Lions? Yeah, Thanksgiving Day, losing to their division rival, the Packers. Now they've had the time to sit on that game, sit on that results for 10 days. I think this is a bounce back spot for the Lions. I think this is a double-digit win for the Lions. And I am just not high on the Saints team. Obviously, 5-6. They're tied for first in the division, but that division nonetheless is garbage. 2-8-1 against the spread and 0-4 against the spread at home. I think this is just a big bounce back spot for the Detroit Lions. Even got my Lions jersey from Lenny that he sent me. So I flexed in it today. Lions are one of my favorite plays of the week.
With Olave back, this total has just moved to 48 at Pinnacle. What did you think of the over in this one?
I think if the Lions are going to win this game, they're going to have to score some points because their defense has not been good the past couple of weeks. But I would have to lean towards the over. Detroit's been a heavier over team, and if they're going to cover the spread, probably look towards that way. But it would be more of a Detroit team total over rather than an over in general in this game.
Primetime 99 talking about Alex Anzalone out as well with the hand injury. Yeah, it's a big loss. I wanted the over the whole time. I was just worried about the Saints offense, but now that Olave's there, why wouldn't they be able to move the ball a little bit? I think I will make an addition here on the over. It's moved to 48 at Pinnacle. It's still 47.5 at Bet365. I think I'm going to bet this right now. Let's get into the final spot on the board for you, Tim, and that is the San Francisco 49ers at Philadelphia Eagles. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Take it away for us here. We've heard a lot of cappers talk about this game, but we haven't heard your full game side yet, unbelievably. So take it away. Niners, Eagles.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have already said a lot of stuff about the Eagles on this show. The one thing that I like to do is I like to paint a picture with the game. You get a 10-1 Eagles team at home, and they're a dog. That just doesn't make sense to me. That put me all over the Niners in this one. I think they win this one, and you kind of get a Eagles team that they clinched a playoff spot. They're essentially solid for the division. They have Dallas next week, so there could be a little bit of a look-ahead spot. Taking on the Niners, who they need to keep pace because I know, Seattle lost on Thursday night, but that's still pretty close back and forth between those two sides. But the fact that they're a 3-point favorite on the road against a Eagles team that a lot of people can argue is the best team in the NFL, and they're a dog in this game. That just shouts out 49ers to me. So, besides the Lions, 49ers are my number 2 play this week. And all 3 of these plays are contest picks for me.
Let's go into this a second further because you do have a choice now. We'll pull up Pinnacle because they've been spearheading this move towards the Philadelphia Eagles. Right now, if you want the 49ers -3, it's plus 108. If you want the -2.5, it's -115. A huge move towards the Eagles. What is your spot here? Take it away.
Let's take the 3. Take some plus money with that one. The only thing I'm giving up taking the 3 instead of a 2.5 is a push instead of a winner. But I'll take that 3 all day. I think they win by 7 to 10.
-3 at plus 108 here, expecting a big win for the red and gold. I'm in the process here of betting the over in the Lions game. While I'm setting this up, Tim, tell us a little bit. I jumped in and watched your brother in action yesterday, breaking down the NHL card. Tell us what's going on with the Earl Sports Bets channel this week.
Yeah, normally I'm on there with him. You caught me on a day that I had stuff to do outside, so I wasn't on that stream. But yeah, we're live every day, breaking down whatever sports are going on, NFL on Sundays, NHL and NBA during the week. And then eventually when we get to baseball season, it's all baseball. But every single day there. And we're all over social media. Wherever you guys are looking, Earl Sports Bets is all over it.
Go get that cash, Tim. And everybody, please follow Tim at Gaming Giggity on X. I'm going to pop his Twitter there in the handle so you guys can get over and support the Earl Sports Brothers. Let me just get this up here and pop it into the chat. Thank you so much for your time, Tim. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Let's make some money tonight.
There we go, Mr. Tim Earl, and there is his Twitter there in business. Let's bring on your next guest. Not only did he sweep the board on his Wednesday, every Wednesday special here on Betting with the Bag, breaking down the NBA card coming off board sweepage, and a very good season to start off the year for us here. He is also ranked 10th out of 25 cappers in NFL PubHub, 9-9 plus 0.1 units, and we all love capping with him. Please welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutchy, what's good, man? How are you?
Jimmy, the motherfucking bag. How we doing, my guy?
We are doing good. There's a lot on the line today. It's been a good week. It's been quite a strong week and a good weekend so far, but a lot on the line today, and I'm a little nervous about a couple spots. But let's get right into business because you've got angles on games that we have not seen. So let's get right to work. We start with Chargers Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. 45 Fahrenheit, rain 8 miles per hour. We've talked about this game. I'm on the under. We've had both Flash and our guy Sean Higgs give us the under, but you are taking it a correlated action with us, but on a different angle. Take it away for us, Dutch. Chargers, Patriots.
Yeah, man, I'm digging the under vibes. I'm definitely liking the under here, but I looked at it from a different perspective. I really think I'm not trying to overthink it. I mean, I know the Chargers fuck around. They move the ball an awful lot, but they fuck around a lot. So I'm sure the under is solid, but I like the team total under for the Patriots at 16.5. Got this at minus 105. I mean, like I said, I'm not really trying to overthink it. These Patriots are bummy as fuck. I mean, Mac Jones, Zappy, whoever the fuck you got out there, really is not an NFL caliber quarterback. I don't even know if Bill Belichick really even gives a fuck about this season anymore. The Patriots are putrid. They're below average. They're averaging 13.5 points per game. This year that's 31st in the league. I mean, they're 28th in yards and third down conversion at 33.6. They cannot move the motherfucking ball. They've lost 4 straight, averaging 11 points per game in that span, Jim. 13 motherfucking points, 13 total points the last 2 weeks. And the Chargers, man, say what you will. They played pretty solid defense against the Ravens, only allowing 20 there. They do give up points, but they're pretty stout against the run. I knew they got a couple injuries there, but they are pretty stout against the run. But simply what this is, Jim, is a fade of the bummy ass Patriots, and especially that offense. Team total under 16.5 is good money.
And that's available at even money right now at Pinnacle. Team total for the Patriots under 16.5 at plus 100 available right now at Pinnacle. Let's move on to the big one. We've heard so many cappers discuss this spot. You will be on the side of Big Ragu and Mikey M. On the other side of you is
Doc, I like it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got Mikey M and Doc. On the other side of you is on a first half look, Flash. He's also using it on the money line parlay. So Flash and Tim Earl. They're on the other side of you. Take it away, Dutch. Tell us your plan for 49ers Eagles.
So the soccer guy and the hockey guy. We're all right. We're okay, Doc. We're okay, Doc, in the pant. Hey, we good. We good, man. We sliding through. And this Eagles all motherfucking day. Believe it. I got it at 3 with -1 and the minus 105. Man, I heard a little bit of what my man was saying right before this, and yeah, I mean it does look a little appealing, Eagles at home as a dog, but I'm gonna be real, it looks too motherfucking appealing for me to pass up. I believe they'll be ready to rock and roll all year long. They heard about, you only beat us because the quarterback went out, obviously last year in the playoffs with the 49ers quarterbacks going out. I mean, they've heard these rumblings. And Eagles as a dog, I mean, going back to the Super Bowl, you remember the mask, you remember the dogs. I mean, this is where you want them, especially at the crib. 5-0 this year at the crib, 8-1 straight up last 9 at the house, 4-1 against the number, last 5 as a dog. Giving me 3, I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing, Jim. The Niners on the road, 3-3 this year, on the road, 2-4 against the number overall. Excuse me, 2-9 ATS last 11 meetings. Versus Philly, 3-8 in those games straight up. I do think we're having the better quarterback here. I mean, I don't think Purdy's a fucking bum, but he's nowhere near Jalen Hurts. I do think the receiving core will show up here tonight. I think A.J. Brown Devontae Smith are going to be big in this game. I like Swift an awful lot, but I think Jalen Hurts is going to do what he does. Also, I didn't text you this, but I did add on. My prop bets are smaller, but I do like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. He has 11 of these this year, 5 in the last 2 fucking games. And one thing does stand out to me. The 49ers have not given up a touchdown on the ground to a quarterback this year. Well, that shit ends today in Philly. Again, the motherfucking Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, -115 is good money. And the Philadelphia Eagles, man, they lied to win the game. You know, if I'm taking 3, I think they win this game. I'm going to take the 3 because I do believe it could be a close game. And 49ers do have an elite defense, but do have a tendency to give it up. I look for the Eagles to find a way to win this football game, Jim.
You've got it locked in. I'm just going to see if I can beat that number on Jalen Hurts touchdown. I can't right now. -115. I see -119 at Pinnacle. So 2 -115 spots for our guy Dutch. Eagles +3 and Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. You do want that to be official for record keeping, right?
Yes.
All right, we roll on. Nice to see you, Foxy. Great to see you, Mark Schlingberg. Thank you guys for joining us here on NFL Pub Hub. We move on to Cleveland Browns, LA Rams. Cleveland Browns, LA Rams. Take it away, Dutch, because we've spoken about this game. But you can also let them know that you have 2 bets. You have a team total, and then you have a side for a money line parlay. Don't tell them the second half of the parlay. Just tell them the first half, and we'll lead into the second one. So take it away for us here, Browns, Rams.
My man. Yeah, 17.5 team total under Cleveland motherfucking Browns. They're dookie, man. They're dookie, and they're starting Joe motherfucking Flacco. Come on, man. Joe Flacco, what year is it? God damn, this boy's a stiff. DTR was doing what he could with them, but they weren't doing too much even with the mobile quarterback. That defense is out of this fucking world, but that offense is complete trash. The Browns' last 2 games are averaging 12.5 points per game. They're 27th in yards per game and 30th in the NFL, Jim, in third down rate, 31%. And that is with whoever they had before. Now you're bringing in Joe motherfucking Flacco. I don't think this guy is going to move the ball, going to do too much. They're going to try to run the ball an awful lot. And I think obviously with Donald up front, I think the Rams will be ready to rock and roll. I do think also the Rams, since the bye, coming off playing 2 solid games. Say what you will about the competition, but 2-0, allowing 15 points per game. But this is simply more of a fade, as in the Patriots, man. I'm not trying to overthink it. I don't think the Cleveland Browns score 18 points in LA. I definitely don't. Not with Joe Flacco leading the crew. So I like this team total under, and I like the Rams here. I like the Rams. They're one of my money line. As you mentioned, I have a 2-teamer. It's at right around +110, and I definitely like the Rams here money line. I think they're playing good football. Cooper Kupp back in the lineup. They're running the ball too. Don't look now, but Royce Freeman's actually fucking running the ball at over 4.5 yards per carry. This Williams kid they brought in last week ran the ball at 5.6 yards per carry and ran all over him. So as long as McVay continues to run the football and doesn't just go one-dimensional with Stafford, the Rams will win this game quite easily. But it's actually even dropped. It was 4 when I took the money line, so I believe it's 3.5 now. But I'm not mad at the spread, but I'm more comfortable with saying they win this game.
Can you, if you have your like Will Hill or what you have up for the Browns team total under, because I don't find 17.5, but the under 16.5 at Pinnacle's +115. I know there's going to be a 17.5 out there. I just can't find it. So if you can find it, that would be excellent. And anybody in the chat can help us get a team total under 17.5, because I only have these 2 books open right now. Let's move on and set up the next spot on the board. And this ties into your money line parlay. So Rams money line is the first leg of the parlay. The second leg comes to us in Arizona Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we have the Rams money line, and what's the second half of it? And did you find the 17.5 as well?
Actually, no, I'm still looking it up, Jim.
Okay, well, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll get the guys in the chat to look for it because we want to hear your analysis. I apologize for making you line shop. Take it away here for us. The second half of your money line parlay, Cardinals Steelers.
Yeah, man. I'm looking to face shit teams here. I do think the Cardinals, could have some moments here. Maybe moving the ball here. Pittsburgh, just these 2 teams honestly average out to about the same when you look at them offensively. The difference is you have damn near an elite defense in Pittsburgh, and you have a defense. You don't even have a defense in Arizona, to be quite honest with you. You really don't. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And obviously, we get Mike Tomlin at the crib, better coach. Say what you will about the quarterbacks, but we know we got a hell of a lot better defense and a better running game with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Najee Harris is coming around a little bit, man. Starting to maybe, live by it. He runs his mouth an awful lot. He needs to start running the football like he runs his mouth. And he's starting to do that a little bit here in Pittsburgh. So I just simply believe you got the better team. Pittsburgh doesn't really seem to blow out anybody, but they could blow out the Arizona Cardinals because a lot of motherfucking teams do. They are playing better football. 1-2 of the last 3, Tennessee, Green Bay, and a solid win against Cincinnati. Even though without Burrow, they're still in division game and losing a real dogfight there at Cleveland. So they've played, solid football of late. Won 4 out of the last 6. They're just better than the Arizona Cardinals. They don't know what the fuck they're doing in Arizona. And being in Pittsburgh, they're going to be in trouble. This is the second leg of the two-teamer. Plus 110, I believe, is out there now, Jim. Plus 110 for Pittsburgh money line with the motherfucking LA Rams.
I love it. And we can get plus 115 right now. Thank you, Benjamin Mills. That's so helpful. There we go. Benjamin Mills hooked us up. Your team total for the Browns under 17.5 at minus 112. Available right now at FanDuel. Thank
Appreciate
you,
Benji.
Then your final spot on the board. We're 4 minutes away from kickoff. Dutch, Bengals, Jacksonville Jaguars, Monday night. It's great that you're giving this. It gives us fodder to talk about before our pregame Monday night. So thank you for that. Take it away here. Bengals, Jaguars, your plan.
Yeah, man. It's the Medicaid Monday vibe right here. Going to start it off Monday night, Jim. 92 ATS. The Jags are first half. Allowing averaging 4 points per half in the last 7. So they're only giving up 4 points per half the last 7 games. Outside of that Niners game, obviously that Niners game went real sideways. Outside of that Niners game, they've only allowed 4 points in the first half of the last 7 football games. Covered 9 of 11 in the first half this year. The Bengals, man, they're in trouble, man. They got Jake Browning running the show, and it's a no motherfucking go there. I really believe it. The Jags really good against the run. I don't believe Mixon and any of these boys are going to do it. They're going to rely on Browning to do it. It's not going to happen. The Bengals average 75 rushing yards per game. That's 32nd in the NFL. So they can't run the football. They can't pass the ball. And the Jags are feeling themselves, man. Say what you will about Jacksonville, but they're a solid football team. They've won 7 out of the last 8. I'm going to break this number down because it's big, Jim. So I like the first half Jags.
First half Jags. You have a decision to make here as well. A -4, minus 125, -4.5 at minus 112. And then they don't give you a 5.5. They go right to 6 at even money or minus 101. Went to 4.5 at 112.
Yeah, because I already laid a little bit of minus 115s here, and I got better juice on it on my site. So yeah, we'll do that. I think they're gonna win. They're gonna be up by a touchdown. I need a touchdown. So
I can't wait for the Monday nighter now. There's some angles that have come up that I'm going to attack here. So let's go. Jags first half minus 4.5, minus 112 for our guy Dutch Boy Fresh's money line parlay. Rams Steelers plus 115. Browns team total under 17.5 minus 112. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown minus 115. Eagles plus 3 at minus 115. And then the Patriots team total under 16.5 at plus 100. Thank you so much, Dutch, for making time for us. I know you got such a busy schedule. You can catch Dutch every Wednesday on Betting with the Bag, breaking down NBA. Swept the board last week. And of course, Medicate Mondays pops off this Monday at 11 a.m. And those boys are running so hot. So please support and follow and hang out with our squad here on Mondays at 11 a.m. Dutch, my man, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Jim, my friend, this was fun, but I'm here to do one thing. Turn your bookie to a bum. A fucking bum. No knife, no gun. Just that knowledge, son.
Dutch, we do have a question here from Ragu. He says, I know you're a huge Noel guy. Parting shot, please. Your thoughts on.
Hey, man, give it to us, man. We're Power 5. We're fucking undefeated. It's no nation, bro. Shout out to Doc. Found a way to get it done. That defense is fucking elite. Norvell's done what he's had to do. Hey, man, we're in the 4. We're in the 4. I got to say that. No,
it's been announced, Dutch. It's been announced. You are not in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When did that happen? Just a minute
ago?
About
half an hour ago.
Oh, fuck. See, I was prepping for this shit. God fucking damn it. Yeah, fucking. Why you gotta tell me that, Jim? I was all happy and shit, in good mood. Shit. All right. It's Sunday. I'm gonna think about the NFL, and tomorrow well, goddamn it, catch me on Medicaid Monday and you'll get a rant from me because that's some bull ass shit. Some bull ass shit. Go Knowles, go. All right, Jim.
There he is. That's what fresh. Hate to be a bearer of bad news, but it's fun watching his face change immediately. All right. Kickoff is right now. I'll do a quick review, but you can head over to our big live bet stream with Sharpie and big show picks here. But let's review all action. For me, I'm on Packers plus 6.5, Chargers, New England under 40.5. Double up on the lines. I'm very nervous about first half minus 2.5, full game minus 4. Titans even money, and Indianapolis, Tennessee under 43. And then I just added the Lions, Saints over 47.5. So here we go. This is the action. You guys can jump over to Sharpie's show. I will take no offense. And thank you so much for supporting our show here. We have here Mikey M's on the under 41 in Arizona, Pittsburgh. Commanders plus 9.5. Curtis Samuel anytime touchdown plus 370. The under 33.5 at minus 108. And the New Orleans touchdown at plus 3,000. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I copied and pasted your action, Mark. Thank you for sharing it. I've been copy and pasting a ton. But yeah, Schillingberg on Miami, first quarter minus 2.5. First half minus 5.5. There, and then Stimmy. God, it makes me nervous seeing Stimmy big on Carolina, and I know why he is. It makes perfect sense to be hammering that. Mark Schillingberg also on Tyreek Hill over 7.5 receptions at plus 108, and liking his anytime touchdown. Those are the spots that I copied and pasted, Mark, my man. Let me know if I've missed anything. Then back here, we have Mikey on the under 33.5 minus 108. No touchdown in Atlanta, New York Jets. Panthers plus 3.5. Eagles plus 3. Eagles money line at plus 140. And his teaser is Packers plus 12 in the under 49.5. Big Ragu on the under 47.5 in Denver, Houston. Rams minus 3.5. Eagles plus 3. Packers plus 6. And Jags team total over 24.5. And he gave us a 3-game parlay. Eagles money line. Rams minus 3.5 in the under 47.5 at plus 7.6. Oh, under 47.5 in Houston, Texas. Texans at plus 761. Sean Higgs gave us the under 39 in Chargers, Patriots, Jets money line, and he's all over this 49ers. First half team total over and first half over 23. Then Marley gave us Lions minus 4 at even money, Rams minus 3.5 minus 101, and Packers plus 6. Flash gave us the under 39 in LA, New England, Dolphins team total under 29.5 minus 112, and 49ers first half minus 0.5 minus 112, and the 49ers Chiefs money line parlay. Spenny Penny Bombs, who's running so hot here on the show, is on Jaylen Warren over 77.5 rush yards and 100 plus. DeAndre Hopkins over 51.5 receiving yards and 70 plus. Zach Moss over 18.5 receiving yards and 25 plus. Damian Pierce over 23.5 rush yards and 50 plus. Adam Thielen over 58.5 receiving yards and 70 plus. George Kittle over 46.5 receiving yards and 60 plus. Tim Earl gave us the Broncos plus 3.5, Lions minus 4. And 49ers minus 3 at plus 108. Dutchy just gave us a Patriots team total under 16.5. The Eagles plus 3 and Hurts anytime touchdown. Browns team total under 17.5. Rams money line, Steelers money line parlay at plus 115. And the Jags first half minus 4.5. We have no show without you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. Thank you guys for your support. Quinimus, Perky, Brent Cook, Big Ragu, Ramon Scott, Mark Schillingberg, Terry Walker, Justin McElvey, Ian Shaber, Jason Meyer, The Truth Teller, Dan Kelly says play of the day Browns minus 3 at plus 210. Plus 210 says Diane, I love it. I love your alternate lines, and I'm very thankful that you got me on the Magic for the division. It's a fun bet to have all year long. Thank you to the chosen one, Marcus McCarthy, saying yes, Brown team total 17.5. Thank you, Marcus. All of you guys, Benjamin Mills, thank you guys for your support. Jay's final take, Big O moving at Gulfstream race 3-1-6 over the 1-2-5-6 exacta. Londo, all of you guys, Joe, Craig Wood. Thank you guys for your support. Kenny, Ken, Stimmy, OG, Nasty, motherfucking Nate, Doug. Let's go. Let's get that cash. Thank you, Mel. I'm interested in your look there. I'm going to study the Kings a little bit. Foxy, all of you guys, thank you. And big thank you to our producer, Jose Bouquet, for his work, tireless work here behind the scenes, making these shows look good. Thank you so much, Jose, for all of your hard work, man. It means a ton to us. Now let's go out and get that cash. Kickoff is off. We're 4 minutes in. Let's go. Get over to Sharpie's show and get that cash. But most importantly, let's check.